matchups, it feels like what the Sacramento Kings do defensively is going to decide whether they win or lose this game.
That's one of the keys for me, if not the key. And we talked about yesterday, I got to treat C.J. McCollum like he's Steph Curry. That's the head of the snake for me with this team, with no Zion and everything. I was watching that game from Tuesday. I was watching it again, and they always had eyes on Steph. Steph got by somebody. There was one, maybe two guys there to help. Screen and roll. They blitzed the screen. Steph was seeing 2-3 guys at a time all night long. All night long. And CJ is at a little bit of a different point in his career. He's a little bit of a different player than Steph, a little more shifty to attack the basket. But at the same time, he's not Steph Curry. So I'm giving him that same type of attention. I'm staying locked in. They did a great job on Tuesday of being locked in on the game plan against Steph Curry. And I think CJ's the key, man. If you can keep him at bay, you're not gonna. I got respect for CJ, so I'm not gonna sit up here and say shut him down. But if you can keep him at bay, make him work on both sides, I think that'll go a long way to getting this W tonight.
We talk a lot about, or we have talked about, Mike Brown searching, whether it's Duarte or Colby Jones, or searching for a spark, searching for something. That only happens when they go down. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't searching on Tuesday. Like, that rotation was tight. That rotation was exactly what we thought it would be. Alex Lynn, Davion Mitchell, Trey Lyles. That was the rotation. And it seems to me, as simplistic and as elementary as this is, maintain like a little bit of control in this game. Just don't fall behind. And you stay in that same rotation. When you fall behind double digits, when guys look lackadaisical, when things are happening, that's where you start to get maybe Colby can provide a spark. Maybe Chris Duarte can provide a spark. I think if we see those guys early, it probably means the Sacramento Kings are in trouble.
So here's what I'd say about that. You're 100% correct. I would say don't panic no matter what happens. If that's your group, which it should be, those 8 guys that we saw play, meaningful minutes on Tuesday, that's what it should be. So if you get down 10 or 12, that's not ideal. But don't panic and be like, well, we got to go to Duarte because Davion just ain't got it. No. Like, stay with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Work with these guys. Let them work through it and let them find a way and figure it out. And trust their competitive nature. Trust their ability to say, man, we got to pick it up, or whatever the case may be. And that's what I would say about Mike Brown deviating from the rotation. Trust these guys. If it gets bleak, trust that they're going to push through out of that, or at least give them the opportunity to.
And then there's a certain aspect where it falls on the players too.
Absolutely.
Like, give Mike a reason to trust you.
Absolutely.
Make sure you're out there. Like, I don't see a scenario where we're questioning this team's effort.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't think there's a scenario in this game at this point of the season where we're questioning this team's focus, right? But you still have to go out there. You have to execute. You have to deliver. And you gotta give Mike a reason to not start searching.
Yeah.
To not wonder if, hey, maybe Colby can step in for Davion here, or maybe Chris can step in here for whatever.
I'm with you. I don't think that'll be an issue with these guys.
I don't think it will be either.
I don't think it'll be an issue with these guys. And like I said, I can't imagine what any of those guys would do if I'm Mike Brown to deviate from the rotation. Like, no disrespect to these guys. Duarte, absolutely. There's nothing any of those guys could do that would make me go to Duarte tonight. Nothing. Like, if they're looking lackadaisical or whatever, which we both don't think it'll happen, I'd have a talk with them first.
Yeah.
Before
utilize those timeouts.
Yeah. And or like, we get to the half. I'm just using an example. Just Davion. Davion don't look like, hey, let's talk. What's going on here? I need you to lock in. I need you to do this. Like, but I'm letting him work through that. By the time I realize that he just doesn't have it, we're at the start of the fourth quarter at that point. And then I'm not going to Duarte. I'm saying, all right, Fox, you're playing the whole fourth. All right, Keon, you're playing the whole fourth. Yeah. I don't envision this. I could be wrong. Guy might get in 5 minutes into the game, but I don't envision a situation where we see Duarte, Kessler Edwards, any of those guys in meaningful minutes.
Well,
tonight.
You know what I like to say? Mike is funny.
Don't be funny tonight.
Mike is hilarious sometimes.
We don't need the jokey jokes tonight, Mike. We don't need the jokey jokes. Stick with that group, man. I don't need to see, and once again, no disrespect to those guys. I don't need to see Duarte or Kessler Edwards tonight.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just stay in control of this game. And that doesn't mean they were in control, like leading the game against Golden State through really virtually the entire game, it seemed.
Yep.
That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm just saying stay ±4, ±6. Don't go down. Like Mike doesn't start looking until it's like, all right, we're down 10. Someone has turned the ball over twice. Okay, I got to find. Hey, Chris, come on. Hey, so-and-so, come on. Don't do that. And utilize those timeouts. Let's get quick timeout Mike back if we have to. I'm down for all of that.
Yeah.
You got to leave it all out there. Like, this is it. This is it.
The thing that I would even do in that situation, somebody turn the ball over or something like that, I would just go back to the guy he subbed in for. I don't need to go to Duarte.
Hope you enjoyed your 30 seconds of rest. Get back out there.
Yeah, get back out there, man. Like, I don't need to go to Duarte. Keegan, player X has turned it over twice. Get back out there. I ain't even got my Gatorade yet, coach. It's whatever. Get back in there. I ain't going to Duarte and Kessler Edwards. Now watch Duarte get in the game and have like 15 because I said that.
And you know what? That'd be just fine.
I'll be with it.
If Duarte goes in the game and that's perfectly fine. I'll take it. All that matters, regardless of who plays, is the Sacramento Kings get a win tonight.
That's it. That is it. That is the bottom line. And they've got it right there in front of them. You got all of that in front of you, all the opportunity in front of you. You don't have to scoreboard watch. You don't have to hope somebody else helps you out. It's all there in front of you. I think they take care of business tonight.
I hope so. We're live at Sky River Casino. We're going to try a couple of different things today. Our man Matt George is live in New Orleans. He's going to join us when D'Lo and KC return here on Sacramento Sports Leader ESPN 1320.
Hey, so Jonathan, I can't hear nothing.
You don't hear the commercials or nothing?
No, let me try just this.
Hang on, Matt.
Hey, Jesse, can you do me a favor? Can I just try your headphones real quick, make sure it's not my situation? Yeah, it must be my headphones because I hear. Yeah, I hear.
You just want to use these?
Yeah, if it works, if it's cool with you.
Yeah, I got another set over there. Okay, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. What happened to the feet? What's up, Matt?
Hey, gang, how's it going? You got me?
I still have. Hang on, Matt. I don't think we're going to be able to talk until we're at a commercial because I have the commercials in my ear. So hang on, just a couple minutes. It's like a regular dumbass radio show today. That's what it is. No, that's fine. Appreciate y'all being here nice and early. Appreciate y'all. You guys can't see him, but Matt George is with us. You'll be able to hear him, though. Probably want to try to get the tweets back out since Kyle Madsen sabotaged our stream. All right, Matt, we're coming back. All right, we are back here live at Sky River Casino.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Game day. One of the biggest games, I have to say, maybe in Kings history.
32 Brew Street. Yeah, it's up there.
It's what it is, you know.
Live from New Orleans, our man Matt George. Matt George, what's up, buddy?
What's up, everybody? How's everything back in sunny Sacramento, huh?
First of all, it's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day
out here, man.
Yeah.
So, but everybody's charged up and ready to go, man. Everybody is on edge. They're waiting for this game. They are ready to go.
Were you at shoot around this morning?
I was just got back from shoot around. Yeah, talked to Harrison, talked to Domas. Had some interesting things to say with them. First off, this is my first time in New Orleans. It's wonderful out here. I have not met a mean person out here. Like, everybody is so nice, so friendly, so welcoming. So I love New Orleans so far. I haven't gotten to check out Bourbon Street. This is a work trip, y'all. So I haven't gotten to get out there yet and have my fun yet. Although I am a little offended that nobody in the airport asked me if I was going home when I said I was going to New Orleans, but they'll say that for Salt Lake City. So I got to work on that.
Sounds about right. Congratulations on your hockey team. Thank you. Congratulations.
That's terrific. Yeah. Anything notable from Domas and the crew today? Shoot around?
Nothing much. Like, we kind of focused on. Obviously, they've heard a lot about the 0-5. They're thinking a lot about the 0-5 over the regular season. But, we hear a balance so much, and people use it depending upon how it fits their argument, right? It's, oh, man, 0-5 during the regular season, that's bad, man. They had your number. Playoff basketball, postseason's a different beast. So it's like pick which side you're on. And I kind of asked both Harrison and Domas that, like, where do you fall on that spectrum? And Harrison kind of laughed and said, look, like, Domas straight up said the regular season doesn't matter, right? Like 0-5, that doesn't matter. We have all the motivation in the world to beat them. Plus, we know what's on the line. But Harrison was like, look, this is a single elimination basketball game. As much as 0-5 matters and we know we can beat this team and we know the context of how we've played this team, like, this is one game. You win, you move on. You lose, you're out. Anybody can win on any given night. So I just sensed a lot of confidence from this team that the 0-5, they're aware of it, they recognize it, but it doesn't define who they are. And it kind of matches the vibe that I feel and I've felt really for the last 24 hours, guys. I'm not trying to jinx anything, and I'm very aware of jinxes and things like that. So hopefully I'm not freaking those people out. I have just a really good feel about this game. I don't know what it is, just waking up feeling happy to be in New Orleans or happy to be going to New Orleans, but I got positive vibes, man. The Pelicans are on kind of a bit of a downward spiral right now. They're 1-7 over their last 8 games at home. With 2 losses to the same team, they fell from a guaranteed playoff spot to now 1 loss away from being out of the playoffs completely. And they just lost Zion to injury. Brandon Ingram still working his way back from his injury as well. Like, that team's kind of on a downward spiral right now. Meanwhile, the Kings just exercised a demon and played one of their best games that we've seen in defeating the Golden State Warriors. So Kings have a lot of energy and a lot of swagger and confidence going into this game, and that's what I took away from shoot-around.
Something that I feel like a lot of people, I don't want to say scoff. That has a really bad connotation. It wasn't that strong, but they maybe look past, I should say. On Sunday, after the game against the Blazers, and it was clear that they were playing in a 9-10 game, and maybe it was disappointment from everybody that that's the game they were playing in. I saw a lot of the quotes post-game from the Kings, and they seemed like very confident, very energized to get to that point, to get the regular season over. And not that they're so good, it doesn't matter, but they didn't really care where exactly they were. They just wanted to get into this opportunity to get into the postseason. It seemed like that's the way they played on Tuesday going into that game. But did you feel the same way talking to those guys on Sunday, that they kind of relished in that moment of, all right, we're in the play-in. That means we're done with the regular season, and now it's time to show and prove. Did you sense a little confidence then as well?
I mean, I sensed relief getting a victory, like ending the regular season with a victory, going into that Warriors game with a win, and a win in the sense that, like, you handled your business. That game was over in the second quarter, right? Like, you handled your business. Unfortunately, because of the struggles down the stretch, the destiny, you didn't have control of your destiny, right? Because the Pelicans had to beat the Lakers for you, and they couldn't get that job done. So, but the Kings weren't necessarily worried about that. What they could control, they controlled and did so well. And thinking about what you were saying there, Kenny, it got me thinking, like, I think the confidence in these play-in games and in the postseason in general comes from the players' trust in Mike. Because Mike has been talking for 2 years. This is how you win the playoffs. We're building. This is how you win. You have to win on the backs of defense. You can't win by scoring 120 a night. Well, that's what the Kings have been building towards over the last couple of months, really since the All-Star break. And then they go out on Tuesday and they have that performance where offensively they look solid thanks to 32 points from Keegan Murray, right? 17 from Harrison, plus De'Aaron Fox doing his thing, Domas doing his thing. But the Warriors didn't break 100. So I think the confidence really is coming from Mike has been telling us this is how you win. The veterans have been echoing that, like Harrison's been echoing what Mike has said every time he stepped in front of a microphone. De'Aaron Fox has been both saying the same things that Mike is saying, and he's doing those things on the floor to where if I'm Keon Ellis or I'm Keegan Murray, I see all the effort that De'Aaron's putting in on the defensive end. I'm going, yeah, I'm going to do it too, even if I'm considered better defenders than De'Aaron is. So I think all of this comes from a trust of Mike Brown. Mike knows how to win these big games. Mike knows we're building towards being a team that can win these games even when our offense isn't on. Let's go out and do it. And we saw that a little bit on Tuesday. And then the offense, like they went through that second quarter lull where the offense kind of fell apart a little bit. Warriors got back into the game. We saw that game a handful of times over the course of this season where the Kings collapse in the third quarter and they end up losing and blowing a big lead. It's not what happened. Curry came out, threw a couple punches at the start of the third quarter, and then Sacramento responded. Keegan and De'Aaron took control. Next thing you know, it's a double-digit lead again, and the Warriors gave up. They couldn't come back. So I think it comes in a trust from Mike.
Matt, you mentioned Keegan Murray and the performance that he had on Tuesday. It looked to me like his approach at the start of the game was purposeful. Like the plan was for Keegan to attack immediately. So much talk leading into that game was if the Sacramento Kings had a chance to win, Keegan was going to have to be a guy, if not the guy. And I'm curious if you saw it the same way. It looked like that was the approach from the onset of that game on Tuesday.
100%, D-Lo, 100%. There are two aspects of that Keegan game that got me excited. Number one is, just like you're saying, he recognized, look, we are missing a boatload of scoring in Malik and Kevin being out. Sure, Fox can go out and get us 40, but we don't want to have to rely on that. So let me go out and do my thing. And Keegan put up 32, and it wasn't like a 32 points where it's like, holy smokes, Keegan Murray's dominating. And you look at the box score, and he had, what was it, 8 threes, right? 6 or 8 threes, something like that. And you look at that box score and you go, that's a really, really, really good game. But watching the game, it didn't feel like when he was shooting the ball, like when he dropped 40 earlier in the season, it's like, okay, everything he's touching is going in. He just took smart shots. He worked his way around the perimeter. He took advantage of the catch and shoot game, the dribble handoff game that that Domantas Sabonis was playing with him. He took what the Warriors gave him and made him pay for it. That's the first part. The second part, D-Lo, was he comes out with 14 points in the first quarter, right? Second quarter scores 2 points on just 2 shots. He took 10 shots in the first quarter. So I'm like, and during that time, the Warriors come back, make it a 4-point game at half. I'm like, oh, God, here we go again. We've seen this story before. Keegan starts out hot, and whether it's because the Kings go away from him or Keegan doesn't demand the basketball, he disappears. Comes out in the third quarter, scores 10 in the third quarter, helps the Kings put that game away before the fourth quarter even starts. That, to me, was tremendous growth from Keegan and the Kings all in one group.
So we're talking about Keegan, and I'm trying to look all this up. And since Malik's injury, he had 11 field goal attempts in that game. Since then, he had 8. This is field goal attempts: 18, 18, 14, 15, 18, 16, 14, 19, 12. And how many did he have on Tuesday? I can't remember.
Was it
Like
20?
16 or 17.
Yeah, I mean, and that's and the whole point is when Malik went down, that's what we asked for, right? That's what we say he should live. It should be 18 to 21 field goal attempts every single night from him. And that's a sign of growth. You know, that's a sign of understanding the moment, understanding what's going on, what your team needs. And it culminated the other night in him not missing shots, like he was on fire, but that aggression. And I expect the same thing tonight. You know, maybe even up to, you know, you got to find a way to get to 20 shot attempts. You know, if you get 20 shot attempts and it's just not falling for you and we lose, I can live with that. I can't live with 11 or 12 shot attempts from Keegan Murray. Your offense and your aggression is too paramount for this team's success to have one of those performances. And to his credit, since Malik has gone down, and I don't know if he listens to D-Lo and Casey, I'm sure he does, but I'm sure Mike Brown told him too, hey, I need about 18 field goal attempts. He's delivered on that. So shout out to him.
And Kenny, think about this too. I know this is going to put a smile on your face. He's in year 2. Like people, I sometimes I forget that. Like Keegan Murray's in year 2. Year 1, he established himself as a sharpshooter, literally the greatest in terms of total three-pointers made, the greatest three-point shooting rookie of all time, right? Again, in total threes. Next year, this season, he's really emerged as this defender to where the Golden State Warriors were targeting Keegan Murray during that 7-game series last year. There was no targeting Keegan Murray. They were trying to get away from that guy, and then they run into Keon Ellis, right? You got Keegan and Keon both switching off on guarding Curry. It's not a coincidence that Steph didn't have that great of a game. So, like, that's a big growth in that area. Keegan still has to grow as a creator of his own shot and attacking the basket, scoring off the dribble, getting to the rim. But he's already shown a little bit of growth over the course of this season in that area. What's he going to be next year? What's he going to be the year after that, right? Yeah. This is why the Kings, 2 things. This is why the Kings, 1, think he's a future all-star, and they've believed that since the moment they drafted him. 2, this is why every single team in the league in a trade conversation is asking for Keegan first, and the Kings are saying no, because this is who Keegan Murray has the potential to be. He's still 2 or 3 seasons away from his prime, y'all. Like, and he's this good already.
Matt, not to be overly simplistic, but what is the key to this game tonight? Is it what the Sacramento Kings do on the offensive end or what the Sacramento Kings do on the defensive end?
Okay, I feel like this is fence sitting a little bit, so call me out, D'Lo, if it is. I think it's a combination of both in the sense
Oh, get
that,
off the fence, man. Come on, man.
I said D'Lo. I said D'Lo, not you. D'Lo, call me out with your wonderful voice that's going on right now. I feel like D'Lo's threatening me every time he talks. It scares me.
Oh, never that.
Like, to me, it's how they attack. And when they attack on, I guess I'll say defense, because when they attack on the defensive end and create that creates opportunities for them on offense, right? We saw their offense get going in that first quarter because they attacked Golden State defensively, and they did the same thing to start the third quarter. It even resulted in a 4-point play for Steph Curry when Keon Ellis attacked Curry on a closeout and ended up fouling him. Now, Steph kind of kicked his leg out a little bit, but whatever. The past is the past. I'm okay with that. Like, maybe don't foul a 3-point shooter 3 times in the game like the Kings did against Golden State. But in the end, that didn't really matter because the Kings were just attacking. So I think if they come out in this game aggressive with an attack mindset, especially on the defensive end, then I think that'll have an overall positive effect on their game. Like the foundation of this team now is defense, which sounds crazy to say, but that's what it is, and that's what it's been for the last couple of months. So establish that foundation. Try and run the Pelicans off the 3-point line as much as possible. And look, if they continue to shoot like 45+%, which they've averaged against the Kings from 3-point range this season, if they continue to do it, but you're running at them and those high five closeouts like Mike Brown says, and CJ McCollum is just making shots, and Trey Murphy is just making shots, tip your cap. Like, at that point, it's like big game for them. Their big shot makers stepped up. We played the defense that we knew we could, and they just hit big shots. It's an offensive-driven league. I can live with that more than giving up 55% on open looks.
I feel like your boy AI. We talking about defense. We talking about defense out here, man. That's crazy.
I don't want to go overboard, but is it safe to say that's what this team is leading with nowadays?
Yeah.
Leading with the defensive end.
I have more confidence in the Kings defense than the offense for the first time in 20 years.
But
like,
wait a minute. That's not a good thing, though, is it? Like, think about what their offense was last year, and think about the struggles that we've seen over, the last few weeks. It's been on the offensive end. Like, it's almost like we've become. We believe in the defense a little bit more because the offense has fallen off, not because the defense has skyrocketed to the level that the offense was. You know what I mean?
True. I think with this incarnation without Malik Monk, they're just a little bit. How do I put this? Because I'm the main guy that says get your threes up, but they're a little too reliant on their three. Like they don't have any versatility in their offensive game. Typically,
yeah.
They got one shot creator in De'Aaron Fox, a guy in Sabonis that just won't go past 14 shot attempts. So it's like, man, how are we going to win with the way the offense is right now? Well, we're going to have to step up our defense to get to that point. And they've done that. They've been able to step it up with Keon, use their defense to create offense. And yeah, I think right now today, maybe that won't be the same when Malik Monk comes back, but they're about to take the court in some hours saying, well, at the very least, we know our defense is going to show up tonight. And that's something they haven't been able to say in this Mike Brown era.
So, D'Lo, I have switched up completely, and I deserve to be called out for it. After that one Warriors game switched me up completely, because I was 100% with you. And that was my concern going into the Warriors game, is like, the most reliable talent of the Sacramento Kings, their most reliable ability has always been on the offensive end. And that was not reliable. And going into the Warriors game, I thought that was going to cost the Kings, because even if the defense is good, can the Kings hit timely shots? If Steph Curry starts going on his threes, can the Kings keep up, right? especially without Malik Monk offensively, unless De'Aaron's going for 40 by himself, which I genuinely thought going into that Kings-Warriors game that it was going to be a Fox 40 versus oops. It was going to be a De'Aaron Fox 40-point night versus a Steph Curry 40 or 50-point night. And it didn't end up being that at all, right? Because of how the team played defensively and how that opened up their offense. So I've switched up completely to where, look, I'm not saying that the offense is fixed and that everything is great because you beat the Warriors in that one game, but how you beat the Warriors, I felt that was sustainable. And it didn't require Keegan to score 32. He just happened to that night. But when Malik comes back, that can be Malik. That could be Fox anytime he wants. Harrison was 17, sure. Domantas Sabonis with the, what did he have, like 16, 18? Sure. Yeah. I just felt that offense was sustainable with that level of defense that Keon and everybody else was playing.
I think Keegan's 32 was really important, though.
Absolutely.
I think that was really important, if for nothing else, and it established another threat. Right. It was like, all right, it's not just Fox. All right, we know Domas is going to play a certain way. We got to watch this kid over here, man. He's nasty. Yeah. He's cooking and he's hitting threes. And the other part of it is Keon continues to shoot with an incredible level of confidence.
Yes.
And between Keon and Matt, we talked about this earlier in the week. What am I talking about? We talked about it like yesterday. There is room for something else to happen here. Like we looked at it and we've talked about, for the Kings to get a win here at this point, they probably have to play perfect. I thought they played pretty close to perfect on Tuesday. But when you look at Trey Lyles, you look at Davion Mitchell, you realize, there might be a little bit more on the offensive end from those guys to help out Sacramento tonight against a lengthy and really, really frustrating New Orleans defense.
The thing with Keon Ellis, and I agree with you completely about the bench too, Trey can get hot at any given time. Davion, when he gets confidence, has been shooting about as good as anybody. Keon is almost to a T what we and the Kings have been asking for and looking for in Sacramento for years. Guys, just to a T. He gives it all on the defensive end of the floor and shoots the three with confidence. And you found that as an undrafted free agent. We're going to talk about the Keegan Murray draft as the Keegan Murray draft, right? The Kings take Keegan Murray, brilliant pick, right? Don't regret that whatsoever. Puts this franchise in motion to finally break the playoff drought. At the end of that night, the Kings ended that night by getting on the phone with Keon Ellis' agent and signing him to a two-way contract immediately as soon as that draft ended. And I give the Kings credit for that. You know who I give credit for that is Keon Ellis and his team. Because Keon looked at the Sacramento Kings situation and said, they need what I am. And I talked to a writer. I went back on the Locked On Kings podcast, and I talked to a writer who covered the University of Alabama basketball. And he told me what the Kings were getting. And I asked him, the Kings have been looking for this type of player. Can Keon be this in the NBA? And he said, absolutely, just watch, right? And that's who Keon has become. So Keon has made the absolute right decision for himself by picking the Kings organization, by accepting a second year of a two-way contract and saying, when I get my time, I'm going to kill it. Then he got his time, and he killed it. So, Keon is not just an incredible story for Sacramento. Keon Ellis this season is one of the best stories in the NBA, period. And I love that on the national TV stage, he had the game that he had against the Warriors for people to start asking questions. I saw more questions about Keon last night than I saw statements about him, which is good. Ask questions about who this guy is, because once you start learning about Keon Ellis, it's impossible not to like him.
Yeah, some of these fake-ass national guys talking about Keon like they know him. I ain't going to say nobody's name, but we all saw him tweeting about Keon the other night.
On, fall back or fall back.
I saw the Chatty House said that dude picked the Kings to win tonight.
Oh, God.
That dude.
We talking about O'Connell?
Yeah, O'Connell, man.
Nobody care about what Kevin O'Connell got to say.
See, Draymond Green picked the Kings to win tonight.
I heard about that. Jason told
Draymond said the Kings are going to win easily tonight.
Okay.
That made me feel bad. That made me feel worse.
Man. That's how I consume Draymond's podcast, through Twitter clips. I don't ever listen to it, but Twitter clips happen. He had very nice things to say about the Kings' performance on Tuesday. Even mentioned a little nice thing about Sabonis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Good for him. Matt, before we let you go, what's the vibes out there, man? And I know the perception is that the Pelicans don't have a fan base and all this other stuff. I actually like when they get going in that Smoothie King Center, it is a little movie-ish. It ain't Golden One, but it gets rocking a little bit. But we see the ticket prices are pretty easy to get tickets wherever you want. What's the vibe out there that you feeling, man, from the people in the know with you?
So I'm saying this genuinely and not meant as any sort of dig whatsoever. I have not seen a single Pelicans jersey while I've been here. Was out this morning, getting breakfast, was out. I have not seen a single Pelicans jersey. Seen plenty of Saints gear, seen plenty of LSU gear. I have not seen a single Pelicans jersey. That being said, I expect them to be filling that arena. I expect the environment to be loud. But I do get the sense, just talking to Pelicans people that I know are around here, and even members of like that are working in the arena. I was chatting with them at shoot around that work for the Pelicans. Like there's just a fear or a just negative or concerning vibe around this team right now with the injuries plus how they've played at home and how their last week is gone. Guys, 2 losses have plummeted them to a position where they very well might fall out of the playoffs. And it's 2 losses to 1 team. So I get the sense more of that concern than I do confidence in playing the Kings, who the Pelicans have beat 5 times. And I think that speaks volumes to me.
They should feel that way. I'd be terrified if I was a Pelicans fan. I'd be like, we are free falling, and I do not feel good about going up against the Kings and just assuming we're going to win again. I'd be.
Well, they got to be asking that question. We're going to beat them a 6th time? That's the question we would have been asking if it was the Lakers. We're going to beat the Lakers a 5th time? They got to be asking themselves that same question.
Well, we keep going back to it all the time. Was I overly confident going up against the Rams in the NFC Championship?
No.
I said,
absolutely not.
I said, man, we didn't beat them 8 times in a row or 7 or whatever. This don't make me feel good.
I saw in the comment section here too in the chatting house, Snoop Bob asked, have I seen any Kings fans? I haven't seen any Kings jerseys yet, but I'm at breakfast this morning. I was grabbing breakfast with Chris Biederman from the Sacramento Bee. Shout out Chris Biederman and Deuce Mason. We're grabbing breakfast and we're on our way out and we're just talking about the game. And a dude sitting by himself at the bar and he goes, are you all from Sacramento? He goes, I heard you talking about Keegan. Are you all from Sacramento? They're like, yep. He goes, man, I'm here for the game. I'm from Sacramento too, or the Sacramento area. So we got some Kings fans that are here in New Orleans ready to take this game in. So I've seen and talked to more Kings fans here than I've talked to and seen New Orleans Pelicans fans. I hate to say it. That's just what I've seen right now, but that'll change come game time.
Well, let's light the beam in New Orleans then.
It's like the beam, baby.
Sky River, 32 Bruce Street. Let Matt George hear you real quick. Come on, man. Let Matt George hear you.
Love y'all.
We appreciate you, my man. Safe travels. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, have a good show, guys, and I'll see you guys. I'll talk to you guys from Oklahoma City. How about that?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I like that. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. That's our man, Matt George, ABC 10, the Locked On Kings podcast. We'll come back. We're live from 32 Bruce Street inside Sky River Casino. It's Steeler and KC on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320.
So what gets me about that story that Matt just said is,
hey,
the guy flew from Sacramento
what direction is the mic?
For this game.
Straight on, right?
And he's out there, he's eating breakfast. And he don't know who Matt George is?
So I was thinking of that too. Yeah.
What?
Hey, turn your microphone so it's facing this way.
This way.
Yeah,
So
because
speak
the
to
side,
top?
yeah, it needs to talk
Okay.
into the top. Because when you back up, it loses you.
Gotcha.
Right? This right. Yeah, okay.
Let me try something real quick. Actually,
Man, we are so happy to see you guys. I see you with the Corners of the Culture vibe back there. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I see you back there too, being antisocial as always on your phone. Why don't you come sit up here with right? You ain't even got to turn around to know that's Nicole. Just sitting there. I'm surprised you haven't busted out your 20-inch laptop. Huh? I figured. can move over. You ain't got to sit over there if you don't want to. You can go sit right there. We can if you want to. Oh, we're doing that thing where we go to.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I don't think so. I think Kyle's coming. I think that's the only one. I think Kyle's the only one coming. Okay. Okay. I think y'all on the live stream can still hear us. They cut us off in here, and Stacy's mom is playing through the speakers. Nah, no drinking yet, John. I'm afraid to drink. Carrie said she was going to get me like a hot toddy. She said it would help my voice, but I was afraid to drink alcohol because I didn't want it to dry out my vocal cords anymore. Drinking hot tea under these lights is a tough look. Well, Tony, I guess she does. No, I'm okay. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah. Oh man, Fox going for 50 tonight. I'm with it. Brian, you ain't lying, bro. My goal is to not say a single word for 48 hours.
Oh man. So the chatty house, because I need glasses, I'll wait till later. Hey, I see Tracy Morgan up there. Did you watch 30 Rock? Were you a 30 Rock guy?
I'm sorry, Tracy Morgan is here at Sky River. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I was like, wait. Someone said, is Guru here? Yeah, I've seen 30 Rock for sure.
I've seen one or two episodes. I'm not familiar with it like that though. But a lot of people loved it Office-like. They loved it like that.
Yeah, no, it was 30 Rock. 30 Rock was really funny. It was I feel like I've seen it. I've probably seen most of it, but I don't really remember it. Like like if I've seen it, it was kind of sporadic. Like, oh, I never saw this season, and I would just watch this season on whatever streaming service it was on. But yeah, no, it was funny. Tracy's a unique dude, man. His what you see, like that's a shoot.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that is for real, Tracy Morgan.
That's him, man. I'm always gonna remember him as Hustle Man. What up, Chief?
I'll always remember. Like Tracy used to like every other comedian. He come through, do the Punchline comedy clubs.
Yeah.
And Young D-Lo's first run at KSFM, Tracy would come through early in the morning, do these dynamite interviews. Then we go to commercial. Tracy would tell you some very interesting stories about what he did the night before.
Oh man. Oh man.
Bruh, you have no idea. That brother is he's unique, man, but I've always enjoyed Tracy.
He's
Yeah.
on TV because he's a Knicks fan. And one day, Malika Andrews and Perk, they're going to be interviewing you on NBA Today.
Me?
You.
For what?
For the Kings.
They're gonna be
Yeah, they're interviewing him because of the Knicks. They're going to interview you because of the Kings because, we one of the premier teams in the league and want to talk to one of the top guys in Sacramento who's lived it all. They're going to talk to you.
No, I think they'll talk to the guy who's courtside every game.
Well, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know who that.
like Tracy's courtside, right? They ain't gonna talk to the dude who's up in section 105.
Stop. Everybody, come on, man. We saw the jacket you had on the other day. Stop playing with us.
Yeah, I didn't get my jacket from Drake. I got my jacket from King
I
Melly.
didn't get my jacket from Drake.
Y'all saw the jacket he got from Drake, right? Like everybody saw. Why do you do this?
It's not true.
Y'all ever seen courtside, Kenny? Y'all ever look? Why do you do this? This is literally like nobody believes you.
That was one time.
Bro, why do you lie to everybody?
It was one time.
So you've only been courtside one time?
Yes. The other times I wasn't court. Could my feet touch the playing circle?
Where were you for the playing game?
I was courtside. That's the only time.
Why do you? All right, dude. We're not doing this because like I got photographic. I get text messages from people about your behavior when you're courtside.
I wasn't courtside. I was in the second row.
Hey, y'all see who put Drake's single on the streaming platforms today? Was that you?
That wasn't me. The cover art. Come on, man.
The cover's ridiculous.
He keeps poking the bear, man. He better know something. I'm telling you, he might be like the situation.
You keep making that reference, and I don't know what it means.
So on Jersey Shore, they were in Paris or something like that, and situation was about to fight Ronnie. Ronnie was jacked up, and he's crazy. He's actually like this tall, though.
You know what? I just realized this is what people who hate wrestling feel like when we talk about wrestling. Because you're referencing these people, and I have no clue who any of them are.
Who the situation is?
I know who that is, but you're talking about Ronnie. I think Situation was on WWE once. That might be what. Wasn't he with Snooki? Didn't Snooki have a WrestleMania match?
I didn't know she did.
I think she did.
That sounds about right, though. That sounds about right.
I don't know who Ronnie is.
But Ronnie's another one of the
Unless he's with Bobby, Ricky, and Mike.
Ronnie and Sam, they were the ones that were always fighting, the couple. But anyway, they were about to fight, and Situation says he was scared, right? But as opposed to saying I'm scared, he tried to scare Ronnie out of fighting him. So he acted crazy. He's like, I'm crazy. I want all of you don't want any of this, Ronnie. I'm crazy. And he smashed his head against the wall, thinking it was like an American wall where it was like sheetrock. But I guess out there, they made the walls were like brick. So he smashed his head up against the wall, hurts his neck. The ambulance has to come.
Oh, geez. Didn't an NFL player do that?
What was my man?
It was a kicker. Wasn't it a kicker?
No. It was the guy for the Redskins. Who's the quarterback? He scored a touchdown and put his head into the wall.
Yeah,
Chatty House will know.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but I do remember that.
Yeah,
I do remember that. Well, I'm gonna need.
Was it Gus Farad? I think it was Gus Farad.
Well, Ramsey would know, the expert, I guess, of.
Gus Farad did that. Yeah. We don't need no Gus Farad moments tonight in New Orleans.
We definitely don't. We definitely don't. King shot 46% from three against the Warriors the other night. Is that realistic again? Absolutely. They've shot 40%. My numbers twice in the month of April. They lost both of them. One time was the last game against New Orleans. The other time was the Knicks. So they've shot 40+% twice this month and lost both games, including against the Pelicans.
That's interesting, man. Can they? I think they can. I think they have the ability. I think they have the three-point shooters to be able to do that. One of the things that might mess them up a little bit with that percentage, I'm not saying all these games were like OKC, but they may take more threes as of late, which messes up the percentage a little bit, right? So maybe you're getting to that flat number of 13, 14, 15, but you had to take 7 extra threes to get there. So it kind of messes up your percentage a little bit.
So I can't remember the New York number, but I think the Pelicans number was like 38. I think that's how many they took in that game. As frustrating as it was for some, that Oklahoma City number is an outlier.
Right.
The 58 is an outlier. I don't know that. I think they've hit 50 once, maybe one other time. Like that was an anomaly.
Right.
Like that wasn't Kings basketball, so to speak. Like that was different.
For sure.
Different.
But as far as that 40% number, yeah, I think they can, man. And it's going to be interesting though, seeing it on the road, right? Because we talk about this all the time. We talked about it the other day. The others, the Keons, the Harrisons at this point, they tend to play better at home. So now you're going on the road. Can they bring that same energy and efficiency in a potential hostile environment like the Smoothie King Center?
You know what might be the blueprint for tonight's game is that Clippers win. That Clippers win was one of arguably their best wins since Malik went down, probably. Well, prior to Tuesday. And they couldn't hit the 3 for nothing. Now, obviously, that's not the way you want the game to transpire, but they didn't lose anything when the 3 stopped falling. They were dominant in second chance points, absolutely dominant.
Offensive boards. And that goes to what happened on Tuesday. They dominated offensive boards. They have that ability. And I know Valanciunas is a good rebounder. That's you're not going to do nothing with him. I don't think you're going to dominate the offensive boards with Valanciunas. But if they go Larry Nance and try to go small ball 5, I'm still going with Alex Len. I want Alex Len to dominate that matchup on the offensive end, on the boards, and make it tough for Larry Nance. Larry Nance isn't really a three-point shooter like that, so I don't think – and he's not a super creator off the bounce. So I think you can play Alex Len with him out there and use that as your strength. Get on those offensive boards, dominate the offensive boards, and let that allow you to get extra possessions. Because that's really what this team needs with no Malik Monk. You need extra opportunities to score, because I don't know if you have the firepower without Malik Monk to just do it as is. You've got to get those second chance points, those second opportunities, those extra opportunities to get points on the board.
And to tie in some things we were talking about earlier, they were dominant. Going back to the Clippers game and trying to relate it to tonight, second chance points, transition points, and bench production. And that's what we were talking about earlier. When you look back at that Warriors game and you had that big performance from Keegan Murray, you got the really solid outings from Domas and De'Aaron. You got solid outputs from Keon, which that has to continue. Harrison Barnes, that absolutely has to continue. But where is there more? It's with that second unit. Yeah. It's with Davion. It's with Trey. And as you pointed out a second ago, it's with Alex Len.
Do you look at the performances of Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis, even Harrison Barnes, I'll throw him in there, and are you confident they can repeat those performances tonight on the road? And when I say repeat, Keegan doesn't have to get 32, but, we're talking 25, 26, something like that.
Man, that's the question I keep getting hung up on, because even if you say Keon doesn't have to give you like 32, but you take the 32 that Keegan had and you add it to what Keon had and you add it to Harrison, that's the number. Can you get to that number from those guys again? And my just gut says no. Like I don't know that you can. Our frustration with Harrison is the ups and downs. Like you might be able to get that from Keon again, because I don't know that any team is at the point where there's 0 in on Keon. like we're going to take
he's going to keep getting those looks.
Yeah, like no one's going, we're going to take Keon away from them. Like I don't think that's happening. Harrison, I want to believe he'll do it again. I just don't know. So my gut tells me no. My gut tells me no, you won't get that output from them again, which is why I keep referencing Davion, Trey Lyles, and Alex Lynn again, because I think you'll have to get more from them to be in a position to beat the Pelicans tonight.
Yeah,
I know the chat is really, really feeling Fox tonight. Okay, I'm with that. You'll need that from De'Aaron too. And maybe we could expand this a little bit further where you add up. And I think it was, man, what was Bonte posted it. It was like 104. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
104
or 108 or
yeah, something like that.
54 or something.
If you can you total that number again? Like when you add all 5 starters together, can you total that number again? If you do, I think you've won. If you total that number, that 104, 108, whatever the number was, if you total that number again, you've beaten the New Orleans Pelicans.
I would say, yeah. My thought is you probably go. we're mixing up the number. We're dibbling dabbling, but you probably go 10 less for the starters, but maybe 10 more for the bench, and it gets you to the same number. Because that's a lot of points for the starters.
No, that is.
That's a lot. So
yeah.
I don't expect him to recreate that. But to your point originally, I do expect more production from the bench today.
Okay.
So it might balance out that way. Like a lot of stuff balancing out. Like I could see, what did Fox have the other night? He had like 24 or 26 or something like that. Maybe him and Keegan flip. Maybe Fox has the 30-point game. Keegan has the low 20s type game. Maybe you get an extra 2 or 4 bonus.
If Keegan has that low 20s game, I'm not complaining. Like,
no, not at all.
And I think that's what we're looking at, guys, to be above their average, guys to just, like, he was way above his normal production against the Warriors, which it's what we're calling for, right? In these moments without Malik Monk, in these moments without Kevin Huerter, someone has to do it.
Yeah.
And in the case of Tuesday, it was Keegan. Okay. To me, someone still has to do it.
Yeah.
So who's it going to be? Like, could it be Keegan? Sure. Maybe, the conversation started with talking about the bench. Maybe it does get spread across the second unit.
Yeah.
But part of me feels like you need both.
Yeah.
Because part of me feels like you need both.
No, you're 100. I was just going to expand on that and say I've said for the last couple of weeks, one of the issues with why they lose some of these games is because they can't afford anybody to have an off night. Everybody's got to be on. Everybody's got to be at least good, from good to great. Nobody can just be Harrison with 1 point or Trey Lyles with 3 or Keon with 5. Like, they can't survive that. They survived that on Tuesday. They were able to do that on Tuesday. I don't think they can have that happen again. I think you got to get one of those games where everybody's good to great. Like Davion had 5. What did Trey Lyles have? 3?
No, I think Trey had maybe 7.
Maybe had 7. So need a little bit more from both of those guys.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at with this team. And that's what it takes a lot of the times to win playoff games. And I know it's the play-in, but this is a postseason type game.
It's a postseason game.
Yeah.
You can call
to
it what
win
you want
those games on the road. That's what you need. This isn't anything out of the norm because of the Kings aren't good or not. This is just what it is.
So what's funny about that is, what's the old cliche? The role players play better at home than they do on the road.
Yep.
And that wasn't and by no means did anyone play bad on Tuesday, but nothing stood out. Right. So that second unit for New Orleans, I'm sure Willie Green is telling his guys, like, hey, we fell flat on Tuesday versus the Lakers. We didn't do enough when our 40-point guy went down. We didn't do enough when I had to sit CJ. We didn't do enough when Brandon Ingram wasn't playing well. Like, now we've got a second crack at that. Like, Willie Green is trying to convince his guys of the same thing we're talking about with that second group. if we know Zion's out, we know that. We've been able to prepare for 3 days knowing Zion Williamson is not playing tonight. We know Ingram's coming. Brandon Ingram's just going to be, just going to have to judge that when we're out there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think you bench Brandon Ingram. Like, you bench Brandon Ingram if he's hurting you. But the rest of those New Orleans Pelicans, like, if I'm Willie Green, I'm like, hey, all the NBA cliches say this is your moment. This isn't CJ's moment. This isn't BI's moment. This is y'all's moment.
Yeah. If I'm the Kings, I want to create doubt in New Orleans. I want to create doubt. I want to have them at some point in that first quarter, first half or something like that say, oh, man, we really going to blow this whole thing?
Yeah.
Or,
yeah,
damn, we had to play them again for the 6th time. Or BI, I'm just not right. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to, even if they utter it for a second and then snap back and get back, no, we ain't letting that happen. I need to create that moment of doubt with those guys, man. And I think it's there to happen. If you jump out on these guys and you get up to, get up a 12-point lead in the second quarter, you can, I think they're tough-minded. I don't think, and their coach is really good. I don't think he's going to let them quit or fold. I'm not saying that, but create that doubt. Like, and we have 12. We about to lose 2 home games. Oh, man.
We could talk about quitting. Like, it's got to be tough. Like, that game on Tuesday with the Lakers, the way that they lost is brutal. You've got, Zion having the game of his life in the moment of his life. You got your crowd cooking. You had been behind double digits. You fought back. You are in position to win that game. You lose Zion, and then, LeBron, and you lose to the Lakers again. You lose to the team that put you in that position in the first place. Yep. The thing that I'm big, and I talk about this in various different scenarios, like the human emotion of this, like the emotional aspect. What if, and I feel like it's far-fetched, especially given what we've seen this year. What if the Kings kick him in the teeth? Like, right out the gate. Or even better, what if the Kings kick him in the teeth at the start of the third quarter? How do they respond? Do they have a response in them the way that they responded to the Lakers in the second half? Because there's got to be a certain level of, like Domas was talking about, here we go again.
Yeah.
Here we go again. And there's also, I know how I would be. Man, we beat these dudes 5 times. And like, you're losing to them in that moment. Like, there's if a lot can be gained if the Kings can, get up a little bit, like test. And obviously it's easy to say to do this rather than execute. Test their mentals.
Absolutely.
Do they got it in them? Do they got it in them to come back? Do they got it in them to fight with us in a game that goes down to the final minutes? Do they have all that in them given the way? Because again, we earned the right to be here. They lost and had to play here. They have to play here. We earned the right to be here.
Absolutely. And also, I wish I tell the whole story. Tell the whole story with that situation.
I think I could do that voice really good today.
Just the whole premise of getting to this game. You talk about they lost, but how they lost.
Yeah.
Who they lost in that game. How they even got here. They were supposed to be 6. After they beat the Warriors on Friday night, it seemed like a slam dunk, man. Yep, they're gonna get 6. It's locked in. Now here we are a week later. You're in the playing game. There's 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter, and you down 15. Oh, how did we get here? What's going on? And while you're asking those questions, De'Aaron Fox is zooming by you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
What I'm saying.
It's not even, and you're 100% right. I understand what you're saying. It's not even saying they would quit. They might, but it's not even saying that. It's just a bit of a distraction.
Test them.
A distraction to get them thinking about something else and worried about something else other than the task at hand at that particular time.
Yeah, and it's just the one thing I try not to ever get wrapped up in like how I feel about games or whatever. The one thing I can't get over. I know all of these guys are professionals, both teams. You gonna lose for a sixth time to the same team? Like, this isn't the Bucks or the Celtics.
That's what I'm about to say. It's not even
It's
like
not
one of those
that.
type of teams.
It's that like what like it was the Bucks, right? Like since the Aarons,
Yeah.
that's 6 different teams.
Yeah.
That's a different set of teammates. That's not the same. This is the same exact squad. This year, gonna beat you 6 times. That's the one part about tonight's game that I just can't get over.
Well, even then, and you alluded to it, it's like and I think they're a good team when they're all together, and they're even good tonight, but it's like this random team. It's not a championship contender. It's not this team
it's not
that's
the
on a
Celtics.
dynasty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For the last couple of years, this is just they ain't no different than the Rockets to a certain degree. And you just gonna lose them 6 times? Yeah. Just really random. Really random. That'd be one of the more random things that happen, I feel like, in the NBA in recent.
Well, losing to a team 6 times has definitely never happened.
Oh.
Well, I guess it could have. I mean, I'm sure like the old Cavs Raptors teams,
possibly,
because they play each other 4 times in a year, then they play each other in a series.
I think and this isn't one season, but I think the Lakers have lost to the Nuggets for sure 7 or 8 times in a row, maybe more than that.
Okay.
They got swept during the regular season. They got swept in the Western Conference Finals, and there might be some more games on top of that. But once again, it's the NBA champions.
Right.
Not the New Orleans Pelicans.
It's crazy to think they might be playing, after all of this, they might be playing in Oklahoma City on Sunday. Like, because I know, like, confidence is a funny thing. Like, no one was confident, like extremely confident going into that Warriors game.
No, not at all.
But I feel like coming out of that Warriors game, people are really, really confident in this team.
We're going.
We're going to win it all. We're going to win it all. We'll come back. We are live at Sky River Casino.
Hey,
we're live at 32
Where y'all
Broome
at? Where y'all
Street.
at?
As Gorilla Monsoon would say, we are jam-packed to the rafters, hanging from the ceilings. We'll come back. It's Steelo and KC here on ESPN 1320. Yeah, Jesse right here. Jesse running everything. Shout out to our man Joe in there working. The killer's going to be when I have to go to the bathroom because it's hella far away. I said the killer's going to be when I got to run to the bathroom because it's hella far away. I gotta tell y'all the truth. These shows are so hard. They are so pause. Yeah, boy.
Let's go.
Shout out Ramsey and Katrina and Dr. David and Zay and
Yo.
the whole crew that's
It's starting
here.
to fill up. It's starting to fill up around here.
Manny out here. We appreciate y'all, man.
Everybody charts out. I mean, just by
That's funny.
what does he say? What is there another sign I gotta?
No.
What do you mean is there from me? Yo, what is that mess? Hey, what is that? Hey, this is trash. This is trash. Don't put my name next to that nonsense.
It's the Los Angeles Caraways right here. Oh, yeah, the Boston Tapias. Come on, man. The pocket watching league is in full effect.
Do I look amused? Do you see me laughing about that? There ain't nothing funny about putting me with them sorry Lakers.
Okay, we could do a Scott Hall style. Y'all think the Los Angeles Caraways is funny? Yeah, I think you're out.
Wait a minute, they
I think
didn't
you're
hype
out.
that noise. No, that wasn't even real. They hyped in.
I think that was a shoot. Well, it's like Goldberg. It's like they used to pipe in the Goldberg chants. It's all right. And then the Boston Tapias. Look at this. It's a rivalry right here. Look at that.
What? You could at least do the Knicks for me.
No, you ain't never said, okay, Knicks show.
I be saying Knicks tape all the time.
Yeah, but it's not nearly
I'm
as
saying
funny. It's not nearly as funny.
Speaking of noise, don't they pipe in booze for Dominic, don't they?
Oh, do they?
That's what I heard. What you
Maybe
think,
they
Jesse?
do. Maybe
You think
they do.
pipe in booze? You don't think so?
No, I think
I
that's
hope
I
not.
think that's the full-on gimmick now. Like they boo that man. He goes to talk, they boo him. He got the full-on Vicky Guerrero treatment, man. That's good stuff.
Well, I appreciate your effort anyway, Jay. I appreciate it, even if it's dead wrong and downright disrespectful, to be honest with you. But I appreciate your effort.
Zay, you've never missed with one of the signs. Like they're on point. You've never missed. You've never missed.
But just by the noise level, all the people in here right now, how y'all feeling about tonight, man? If y'all feeling good, let me hear you. If you're feeling confident, everybody feeling confident, man.
That mic's hot, by the way. If anyone wants to join the show, I think you could go over there and
Literally, if y'all
talk.
want to go say something,
Yeah.
line up. speak
well,
right
except
over there.
Manny.
Yeah, man.
Manny, if you walk over there, like edit yourself.
Manny
like,
get to
yeah.
breathe in and everything. It's like, all right, man. All right, man. How you feeling about the game?
Like I don't, man, it's weird. Like I think I feel kind of confident. Not confident. I feel good about I feel good about the Kings. Like one thing I loved is I remember it's not related to nothing. I remember when Chris Paul with the Clippers finally beat the Spurs. I think it was.
Yeah, I remember that game.
And he was damn near in like tears. And I just kept thinking, how are you going to regroup from this? Like, it was like the first round.
It was, yeah.
And it was like, how do you regroup from that? And so part of me was a little worried about how they would respond to beating the Warriors. And I don't think it was lip service when they were just like, yeah, they were in our way. Like it was destined for us to play them again. That's just the way this league works. That's the way things work with us. We were destined to play the Golden State Warriors again. And I love that response. Like I pointed this out the other day. Baby Rain in his arms. De'Aaron said, we put ourselves in this position, like saying we shouldn't be here. We were in a better position. We put ourselves here. We had to take care of business. We did it. We've got one more. Like he didn't give us the Kobe line, but he did give us the Kobe line. Like job's not done.
Right.
Like we haven't achieved anything yet. We have another game to play to get to even be able to take the first steps towards achieving what we want to achieve.
And that's where the DNA of this group may benefit them, right? Like we talked about in the past, like I wish these guys were a little bit more like emotional and showing emotion on the court and fist pumping and getting the crowd up and all this other stuff, but it's not really De'Aaron, right? They'll also do it a little bit. That's not really him. It's really Malik. Malik might do it, and that's really about it. Definitely, obviously, not Keegan. All right.
Right.
So that, we always like, man, I wish they do that a little bit more. But in moments like this, in situations like this is where their even killedness goes to their benefit, right? They don't get too high or too low with anything.
Yeah.
And on a win like Tuesday, where the whole city was riding high because of finally beating the Warriors and doing that, they were able to just still say, no, it's still business. Still business. We got to go to New Orleans, do what we have to do. And that's where their mentality kind of benefits them going into this game tonight, I think.
Yeah, no, and those are the types of responses that you want, right? Like you want your guys to be fired up. You want them to be excited. You want them to be enthusiastic. You want them to understand the moment that's at hand, but you don't want them to psych themselves out of it either. And that's it's again where I feel like we've brought this up a couple of times over the last couple of days. Those 5 games mean nothing. The 0-5 mean nothing except in the film room. The film room is the only place that those 5 games matter.
Right.
And the fact that you can dig into those and look at, you could spend, like, I don't know what Willie Green is doing, right? Like, Willie Green's got film of his team.
I ain't going to say, not today, I ain't going to say it.
Oh, he was going to make a joke about him being emotional.
I ain't going to say nothing, man. I'm just going to let Willie coach his team.
Willie Green has got, multiple games of his team winning by 30. Now, great coaches is going, look, here, we can't do this again. Oh, we can't do this again. But there's also a coach who beat this team by 30 in this game.
Yeah, the human element again.
There's a lot of film where you cut it up and show, hey, man, we can't let De'Aaron get loose. De'Aaron comes around, comes off a pick, shoots a 3, and misses it. Because that's just what was happening in those games. Like, it's difficult. Whereas if you're Mike Brown and you're that coaching staff and you're Jordy and Jay and the rest of those guys, you're like, hey, we've got mountains of things to improve on. So you're coming in my opinion, the Kings are coming into this game having just won, having the, weird to say, benefit of those 5 losses behind them with a hyper sense of focus.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is, when you talk about those 5 games, you laid it out perfectly. You can get a lot out of the games. The results don't matter. If they have like the coach's tape or whatever, good. I don't need to know what the score is here. Score don't matter. I don't need to know about the end score and how we got what the score was when this play happened. We're looking at the content of that game and how we can improve on something if we're New Orleans. How can we make sure we correct something if we're Sacramento? And you learn that way. But to your point, when you've you can't, if you're in New Orleans, to me, it's harder to erase the fact that you beat them 5 times than it is to erase the fact that you lost to them 5 times. If that makes any sense.
Sure.
Like, the Kings can say 5 games don't matter. We focus on tonight. Like, it don't matter. Like, I'll erase that. We got an opportunity tonight. That's all I'm worried about. Whereas the Pelicans, you can be like, man, they might get us tonight. I mean, we have beat them 5 times, but they might get us tonight. So we got to be ready. It's not impossible. The great teams do it, but
I don't think athletes think like that, though. You know what I mean?
Like what?
Like they might get us tonight.
Oh no, no. I agree with you. Just like be on guard, be prepared. You're gonna get their best effort. Like I'd be, if I was in the Pelicans locker room, I'd be like, man, I'm certain they're gonna come and play tonight.
And I'm sure Willie Green, CJ, all of the leaders in that locker room have said on multiple occasions what we just said. Those other 5 games don't mean anything. They mean absolutely nothing. This is a different team at a different type of year with different circumstances. And the reward for winning this game isn't, to paraphrase De'Aaron, one, win in the win column. That's not what this is. A win tonight sends us into a second season. A loss tonight sends us into the off season.
Yeah. We kind of alluded to it a little bit. Want to ask you, how big is this game in the lexicon of Kings basketball here in Sacramento? I know it's just a play-in game. I know it's just to get to the AC, but it's a one-game situation that we haven't seen very often.
Yeah, it's it's bigger than any regular season game last year.
Yeah.
It's unique in that it's not a regular season game, and it's not a playoff game. It'll be up there, like when you talk about the biggest games in recent memory. Yeah, it's going to be up there. Like, it's not going to supplant like game 1 last year or 2 or 7 or all of that stuff.
But to be honest with you, I think off the top of my head, I think we're talking game 1 last year, game 6, game 7. I think we're talking game 6, 2004 against Minnesota, game 7, 2004 against Minnesota. And now it's up there as one of the biggest games in this franchise's time in Sacramento.
Here's the funny thing. Like, I think the ranking of the game will change on the result. Like, if the Kings win, this game will go down in history as like a huge game for Sacramento. If they lose, I think it'll be forgotten like a lot sooner than any of those games.
If they lose, it'll go. And this one isn't necessarily forgotten. Like, obviously, I've never forgotten it. I know me and Mark Wong, we talk about it all the time. If they lose, it'll be game 82 against Denver in 1995. Where it was a win or go home situation. Yeah. They won. They were going to get the 8th seed and had to go to Denver, and they got blown out. They lost by like 30. And it's kind of a footnote to some, but obviously I've never forgot it. Yeah. You know what I mean? They were able to come back the next season and get to the playoffs, but it'll be in that vein where we'll remember this game one way or the other.
Yeah, and the funny thing about that is if they win, it doesn't just elevate this game tonight, it elevates the one Tuesday.
Yes.
Because they're, the whole we ended the Golden State Warriors thing, whether that's real or not.
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain, we got over that hump. Like, we got past that. And then you follow it up, right? How do we follow it? Right now, that game is cool. You beat the Warriors, but it was the concern I had going into the game. You don't get anything out of it unless you win tonight. Then you win tonight. Now all of a sudden it's obviously not a playoff series, but you look back at the play-in of 2024 where they got past the Warriors and they got past the Pelicans after Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter went down. that could change. The Kings winning tonight changes their whole offseason, or could potentially change their whole offseason, because Kings win, that clock expires. The trade with the Atlanta Hawks becomes final.
Yeah.
The Kevin Huerter deal immediately becomes final. And now that's behind you. Now that deal is behind you and you can move forward.
Absolutely.
Whereas if you lose, the trade still isn't, the trade still isn't completed. And you have, all of these different annoying things that James Ham has explained
Right.
on numerous different occasions.
The people want to talk, man. We want to hear from the people, man. Right here at Sky River Casino, 32 Broad Street, man. Get on the mic.
Yeah, go ahead.
State your name, where you're from, what's going on, baby.
Yes, I'm Gino from Auburn.
Gino.
So hey, talking about this game, where I'm really excited to see. Not, we can't turn over the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's been our problem. A lot of guys been dribbling off their feet and mishandling the ball a lot, and I think that's when causes us to lose focus, and then we start shooting threes like crazy and missing, and we get all discombobulated. Then that's when we start. What do you think the Kings should do in that situation where we need to limit? I think just the dribbling around too much.
Yeah.
The shooting threes way too many.
Keep the ball moving. Keep the ball moving. I got you.
For me, that starts. I appreciate you, Gino. For me, that starts with the players first and foremost. You need leaders out there on the floor. You need your De'Aaron Foxes, Montes Sabonis to come in there, calm everybody down, make sure everybody is doing what they have to do. But we talked about this yesterday. Mike Brown, he's got to really monitor these runs potentially that the Pelicans could go on. It might be a quick timeout on a 6-0 run.
Yeah.
But they can't have no 17-0 runs like they had the other day.
Right.
Or the way things started for that fourth quarter in that last game against New Orleans. And we've seen it a number of different times. The other game in Sacramento, I think all the games in Sacramento, there's been these crazy runs. He's got to use those timeouts. And I'd much rather use those timeouts to try to calm my team down as opposed to drawing up a play. And I think that he's got to be aware of that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key to the Kings offense, right? Is the ball movement. And it was one of the downsides to Malik being out is we lost a creator.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox is still a creator. I think Davion is a creator, but he's a more limited creator. And he can't finish the way Malik can. He can't finish the way that De'Aaron can. So it results in his shot getting blocked a lot when he gets in, especially against a team like this with Valanciunas down there. But the key to things working for Sacramento is the ball moving.
Yes.
And the more the ball moves, the better. Sometimes I think one of the detriments is they move the ball too much. And I think we even saw that a little bit against Golden State. Like, they passed up looks against the Warriors. But it was always with the idea, well, there's a better shot here. There's a better shot here. There's a better shot here.
Passing up a good shot to get a great shot.
Yeah, and if that's the case and they convert, like, I'm with it. Yeah, go ahead, Gino.
Also, what do we got to do to get a call? I mean,
that's a great question. I don't know.
I can dare you right now.
If we get to the free throw line, we win in games.
He's got a theory.
Well,
fall on the floor.
You got to fall on the floor.
Hey!
But look. The crazy thing is that Friday game against Phoenix, De'Aaron did that and didn't get a call. Do you remember late in the game, he goes to the bucket, gets bumped, he gets the bucket, he falls back onto the ground. Yeah. No and one. Play on. That don't even work for us.
Yeah, I don't think the officials' whistles worked that night.
We're just screwed.
Well,
ain't getting no calls. It ain't happening.
But see, that's how they have to, like, the Kings almost have to go into the game like, don't rely on the officials. Like, you could, and it's tough, but like, they really have to do that. Like, don't rely on the officials, and maybe Mike, to a certain degree, has to tell them, yo, let me fight the battles. Let me fight for you guys instead of you guys out there, being in the officials' ear over and over and over and over again.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, going with the mindset of you're not going to get a call tonight. And if the officiating is anything like last Tuesday's, man, it's going to be crazy.
So
Because New Orleans by nature is a physical team.
I was just about to ask you same question as we asked on Tuesday. Who does that benefit? I thought it benefited the Kings on Tuesday, and I think it did. I think it's the same thing today. I think this team.
You think the physicality, the officials,
yep, letting them play benefits the Kings. I've seen this team morph a little bit. They are a physical, hit you first type of team right now. In the vein of Mike Brown. He's been preaching it for more than a year and a half. And he's finally got the personnel to be able to execute that a little bit. And they execute it. They get physical. There's not, we joke about it and we know that he gets beat up and has a black eye left and right every time. There's not many more physical centers in this game than Domantas Sabonis. One of them might be on the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yep.
But I mean, he gets after it. He's a physical guy. De'Aaron's a physical guy. Trey Lyles is a physical guy. Keon, we know he is as well. So I think that's part of their identity. That's part of who they've become at this point in the year. And I think if it benefits anybody, it could just be a wash. But if it benefits anybody, I think it's the Sacramento Kings.
The tough part about that, and I won't fight that, but the tough part about that is if you're De'Aaron and you're working to get to the basket and you're not getting rewarded with foul calls, like it's tough to keep doing that.
Yeah,
like you're getting.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting to the basket and the shots dropping, you take that, and I'm sure De'Aaron takes it 10 times out of 10. Even if the shot's not dropping, like he's not going to deviate. But there also has to be a certain level of, I got to get some payoff here if I'm getting to the basket and I'm getting knocked around by these giants down here.
No, facts.
That's the only part that concerns me. Whereas I like the idea, like, okay, I hear you when you say it favors Sacramento, but my concern is if they let him go a little bit too much, then De'Aaron is just getting knocked around there and he's not getting the SGA reward for it.
Yeah. And then you worry about the physicality with a guy like Alvarado, because if you let him get physical, he's going to be a pest. He's going to be a pest out there. But I can say the same thing about David.
He might be a little limited tonight. We haven't really talked about him very much.
Yeah,
he might be a little limited. He got pretty banged up the other night.
Yeah,
he took some punishment.
Yeah, he had a big game against the Kings last time they played too.
Yeah,
hit some big shots. So
one of many.
One of many
guys who had a big game.
They shot crazy. They shot 55% from three?
55, yep. That's why the Kings 42% didn't matter.
Yeah, I know they're really good. I still kind of, all right, you shot 55%. I don't think you can do that again. I think you can play really good. They've beaten the Kings a number of different ways, but I thought the Kings, the bad thing about it is like you can't take away the runs, right? You can't take away those things. 17-0 run was there because that's what the Pelicans were able to do, right? But if you take that away, if you take away those two runs, the Kings were with them. They were playing good basketball. And that's why I say those runs are so important. But Kings play like they did on that Thursday. Pelicans come back to the pack a little bit with how they shoot the three ball. I like the Kings' chances.
Yeah, that is the other thing about that April 11th game is like it didn't feel like the Kings were awful in that game.
No.
It was kind of like damn, the Pelicans are really that good. It's like when we were talking to Andrew Lopez yesterday, the Pelicans look like a completely different team against Sacramento.
They had two moments in that game at the halfway through to the end of that first quarter with the 17-0 run. That was just, they blitzed the hell out of the Kings and just knocked them in the mouth. Then the Kings fought back to get it within two at some point in that game in the second half. And the Pelicans kind of, pulled away a little bit, got it to, I think, like 8 or 10 at the fourth quarter. But it's still like around, right? Like you're still there. Then at the beginning of the fourth quarter, I think the Pelicans hit like 8 of their first 9 shots. And 5 of them were probably threes. And it was like, damn, this is over. And that's what they've got to avoid tonight. Those just crazy runs, streaks that they get on. Really defend that three-point line. Really defend it. If you are defending the three-point line and keeping them, they had a game earlier this year where they played the Pelicans close, where they made 7 threes. I'm not saying like, if you can keep them to 7, they're great. But I'm not saying like if you keep them to 8, you're going to lose. Like not that, but just defend that three. Have a laser focus on that three-point line and make them a 2-point shooting team. And I think that's the blueprint.
Okay. Well, we're going to continue to break this game down. Our man Kyle Madsen is here. We'll talk with Kyle Madsen.
Kyle Madsen in the house.
He sabotaged our live stream to start the show. He was like, "This show's getting a little too big. We're going to shut this thing down. I don't really like how this thing is going. We're going to shut this thing down."
I don't like that, dog.
I don't like that. So Kyle Madsen is going to join us on stage here in a little bit. We'll continue to talk Kings and Pelicans. Want to take a look around the rest of the NBA as well. We saw that game from Trae Young the other day. We saw the Warriors, their season come to an end.
Yeah, everybody give it up for that. Everybody give it up for that. Warriors season coming to an end. There we go. Round of applause. Standing ovation. There we go.
So it poses some questions about a variety of different players throughout the league. Obviously, there's questions about Klay Thompson. There's questions about Chris Paul, Draymond Green. There's questions about Trae Young and DeJounte Murray and Bogdan Bogdanović. We'll talk about all of those. Plus, man, we've been on the lookout for this for at least a week and a half now. I'm telling y'all, be prepared for Sacramento to come up empty in these postseason awards or these postseason acknowledgments. Zach Lowe put out his all-NBA and all-defense team. Not a Sacramento King in sight.
Wow.
We'll talk about it. Steelo and KC, live from Sky River Casino, 32 Brew Street, here on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320. Ramsey just walking in and out, just looking around like he confused.
Sorry for destroying the start of your show.
No, it's fine. What's up, man? What up, though? Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm surprised you guys are even bringing them on.
Huh?
I'm surprised you even letting them on today. We could just zoom out and leave them in the corner. Oh, yeah, my bad.
Oh, yeah, Aldrin. Ramsey's definitely wearing a mask. Hi, Zebra PT. You're not fired up.
Hello? Oh. There it is. Hey.
You might do the next 2 hours.
Okay. I got takes. I'm going to need another dark Modelo.
I need a new one. I need another.
What is a hot toddy? What is that?
What's it? Artistic something. Find them on Instagram, guys.
Joe cracked the dawn. Dun, 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 dun.
They got a Super Bowl replay on TV they can throw up here?
I'm surprised they don't have Game 7 2002 replaying in here.
You flip over to NBA TV and watch the Kings beat the Warriors for like the 9th time. We normally get agitated that they just show the games over and over and over again. We watched that one like 4 times. No, run it back. We might see something different this time. Might see something new.
Bro, we were putting the TV on in the morning, and the Giants were playing live. So I turned the Giants game on.
There you go.
Because it's live
There you go.
at 9:50 a.m.
Huh?
I was like, great. James walks over, he grabs the remote, and he starts messing with the TV. And I was like, hey, this is a Giants game. It's on. And he goes, no, I'm seeing if the replay's on. Goes over to NBA. It is. And this dude turns on a replay of a basketball game
There you go, James.
instead of the live Giants game. I personally.
And I'm sure in his head it made perfect sense. No, I'm gonna put the replay of the game on.
I personally wanted to keep the Giants game on.
Logan Webb doing his thing. I see you, Logan.
Casey, can you scoot over a little bit? Kyle, can you scoot towards me?
Oh, God. You're asking. Wait.
5 seconds. Bro, did you break something?
No.
I swear
I'm
to God,
good.
what have
I'm
you
good.
not destroyed today?
Oh, my God.
I'm good. I think it just came unscrewed.
Oh,
We're good.
You are,
I'm on one.
man. What-
Hello.
Welcome.
shout out Kyle Madsen.
D-Lo and KC.
No, thank you. That's good.
He's Damian Barling. It's Kenny Caraway. I'm Kyle Madsen.
That's good. That's very good. That's so happy.
This is
that you're here with
the
us.
delayed handoff. The RPO here. With,
You want to talk about what Zach Lowe wrote today?
yeah,
Yes.
man. What are you talking about, man?
He's got his All NBA teams named.
And I respect Zach Lowe's opinion as much as I respect anybody else's NBA opinion.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that.
I can't wait.
All NBA first team. Luka,
Okay.
Shea, Jokic, Giannis, and Tatum.
Fair. I think that's right.
Jokic, honestly.
No surprise there.
No surprise.
What's the guards again? Or the first two?
The guard. Remember,
yeah,
positions don't
what's
matter
the
anymore.
first
Luka and
Positions
Shea
don't
were
matter
the first
anymore.
two.
Tatum, Giannis, and Jokic. Those are your top 5 MVP
Yeah, okay.
candidates, too.
Second team.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson, Kawhi Leonard,
Ah,
Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James.
no, I got a problem with probably 3 of those. I'll give you Jalen Brunson.
So Domas third team. Then.
Kawhi Leonard don't need to be on no second team.
All NBA third team. Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry,
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Devin Booker,
Mm-hmm.
minute.
Tyrese Halliburton,
Oh, hell
Oh,
no.
so Domas,
hell
Domas
no.
being there will be cool. No, this will be cool. Domas and Tyrese all NBA together. This will be cool.
and Jalen Brown.
Man, nah, man. Zach Lowe, man, nah, come on,
No
bruh.
Derek White.
There's about 4 people on there that really have no business being on any All-NBA team. I can make the argument. See, he got me turned up. Yeah, I can make the argument. The hell, with all due respect, the hell is Steph Curry doing on All-NBA? They were the 10th seed. They got bounced. They backed into the 10th seed.
You're mad about a player who was the 9 seed.
So
Look, he's not on there, and we can make that argument for him not to be on there. But no, that Steph is the least of my concerns. Though Kawhi Leonard got no business being on there, no business. Tyrese Halliburton, no business being on the All NBA.
So the funny thing about Tyrese is Zach writes a lot of words.
He does.
When you weed through everything Zach Lowe wrote, he all but acknowledges he put Tyrese on because of the first 33 games of the season, and that he wasn't good the rest of the way.
That's crazy.
So I guess to cover his ass a little bit, he talks about Domantas Sabonis And here's what he wrote. True agony set in the last two spots. They came down to Halliburton, Brown, Domantas Sabonis, and Paul George, with Tyrese Maxey and De'Aaron Fox just a tick behind those four. Now, if you scroll a little bit, you'll see.
Dog, this is so many words.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But he says Sabonis is a brutal snub. He played all 82 games and finished second behind only DeMar DeRozan in total minutes. He led the league in rebounding. He averaged 8.2 dimes, ridiculous for a center, even in the age of Jokic. He can be a hub, or at least the co-hub, of a very good NBA offense. He continues to go on and on and on and on. He talks about how he's a below average defender with limitations at the rim. He talks about how he's not an aggressive enough scorer. Then he goes to Tyrese. Halliburton was never the same after returning from a hamstring in late January. But in 33 games before that setback, he played at a first-team All-NBA level.
Hey, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's embarrassing, man.
30
I like Zach Lowe.
3
I do too.
games.
I do too. That's embarrassing.
That's
man.
why this is crazy.
That's embarrassing, boy. I see, and this is why I wish I could talk to some of these people. I really wish I could talk to some of these people, because I'd be like, that's just dumb. That's dumb. How you putting this guy on an All-NBA team for 33 games?
I've got Jordan Poole as most improved because did you see him in 2022? Woo!
Unbelievable.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Kawhi, I see you. I see you. Kawhi got no business being on All-NBA, let alone second team.
Really?
No, Kawhi. No, he don't need to be on there.
Kawhi was good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
He was
really
good, but he ain't second team good.
I would be more inclined. Like Anthony Davis, all second team is a smidge bit wild to me.
It is.
That's wild. Like if he was third team, like all right, like I guess Anthony Davis is all NBA second team is kind of wild.
What were his numbers this year?
Like 24 and 12.
Big time numbers. But you talk
And he's
about
going to be
24
top
and 11
3 in
maybe.
DPOY voting.
Yeah, I think he's got him as maybe third in defensive player of the
Played
year.
a career high 76 games.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn my nose up at that.
I don't think he's second.
You don't get prizes for playing games, but
Yeah.
like no, like kudos, like he did, like salute.
Yeah, no, he's
The-
fine.
But the difference
Good.
is people are enamored by points. That's what it boils down to.
That is it. Dude.
People are enamored by points, and because Domas doesn't do the 30, 15, and 15 on the regular,
Yep.
he does the 15, 15, and 15 on the regular. He doesn't get the attention that these other guys get.
I don't want to disrespect Zach Lowe because I think he does exactly what I'm about to ask people to do. But that's why you watch basketball. That's why you watch the games. That's why you take the time out to watch different games, different teams, different matchups, on a regular basis. And like I said, Zach Lowe does that. I think he does watch the league, which makes his decisions a little bit more perplexing. But he should know it goes beyond just having 20 points or not sometimes. And look, if it's Sabonis, I think Sabonis should be on All-NBA. And that's if he's not, that's fine. His decision, and I hate to say this because I like the guy, but his decision to put Tyrese Halliburton on there is a joke.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
bad.
That's crazy.
It's a tough look.
That's nuts.
It's a tough look.
That is
And
a
then
joke.
to acknowledge that,
Right. To make a great case for
Yeah.
Domas in the
Yeah.
process.
But look,
Yeah.
look, I even go as far as even if he said, nah, I still don't want to go with Domas, I'll go with Paul George. Fine. Tyrese being on there is a joke.
Yeah, Tyrese had a nice year, but
this is just one person's ballot,
Right.
but this is how they think.
right.
Like collectively, like this is how they think. And a guy like Anthony Davis, who plays for the Los Angeles Lakers, is always going to get the benefit of the
Yes.
doubt over
Yes.
a guy who plays for the Sacramento Kings, a guy who will appear on your podcast at the drop of a dime is going to get the benefit of the doubt over a guy who prefers not to do that stuff.
Yep.
I'm sure I just missed it, but LeBron's on there, right?
Second team.
LeBron was on second team. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. LeBron was on second team.
I think, yeah, I think too, what happens with the Tyrese situation specifically is Zach Lowe and other voters, just voters. I mean, I don't want to call out Zach Lowe specifically, but I'm sure he's not the only one. I think what happens is voters early in the season are like, okay, I'm going to stay on top of this. And Tyrese Halliburton was just there. Yeah. And they went, that's an all NBA player. And that's just it. He's in. And
you're not
you
wrong.
wind up, you just saw it. No, Zach Lowe acknowledged it. And yeah, but the first 33 games, though.
First 33. We weren't even you're barely past the first of the year with 33
That's
games.
Crazy.
I Googled all NBA first team to see if I could find any other results. I've never read a sports article from Forbes, but they have one.
That is a lot of ads.
Let's just see. It's a lot of ads. They got Shea,
You
Luka, Tatum, Giannis, and Jokic, all second team. Ant-Man, Brunson, Durant, Kawhi, and AD.
no LeBron.
Kawhi shouldn't be on the second team.
Wow, they wrote a lot. They
A lot of words.
third team, Steph, Book, Bron, Jaylen Brown, and Tyrese Halliburton.
Come on, man.
Maybe more triple doubles. This is Russell Westbrook's fault.
Oh,
I'll say it.
oh.
I'll say it. Dude made triple doubles meaningless.
He did.
And now we're here.
Well, he made. I know for a stretch, people didn't care about a triple double when he got it, but then Luka got one, and it was like, oh, Luka got a triple double, and God, when Jokic got it, Lord have mercy. It continues, by the way.
Oh, there's more.
All defensive team. Rudy, Wembanyama, AD, Bam, and Herbert Jones.
Fair enough.
All NBA second team. Derek White,
The Derek White.
Alex Caruso, Jalen Suggs,
I like Jalen Suggs.
Jaden McDaniels, and Kawhi Leonard.
Too quick.
So there's no De'Aaron, but there's no SGA either.
I think what's that second team he had
Did they
again?
score too much?
Second team was Derek White, Alex Caruso, Jalen Suggs, and Jaden McDaniels.
Okay, my bad. So what's the end of that? That first team,
Kawhi
like
Leonard.
Bam and AD probably shouldn't be on there. Bam maybe, but not both of them. AD probably shouldn't be on that. All
Well, he really likes AD defensively because AD was third in his Defensive Player of the Year voting,
Right.
behind Rudy first, Victor Wembanyama second, Anthony Davis third.
I think two observations on that second team all defense. One, two ball dudes up front. Shout out. Two, Jaden McDaniels, I think, got that off rep. I think he got that last year, and he just got penciled in for this year.
Well, did Caruso get that
Yeah,
too?
I think he did too.
Alex Caruso is maybe the best on-ball defender in the league. I'm fine with that.
He's on a sub 500 team.
Yeah, he's really good.
No, it's cool. It's great.
He got hurt, and the Hawks went on a 14-0 run.
No, it's fantastic. I'm just trying to decipher when winning and losing matters, because for years we were told winning matters.
Mm.
Now you're telling me you're a great defensive player and your team's ass.
What are you defending?
Like
scoring on the left and
Draymond's tirade that Victor Wembanyama is Defensive Player of the Year on the worst defensive team in the entire league. Tell me how this works.
Yeah, but
Maybe
Wemby's
this
dope.
is, huh?
Yeah, because the rest of that team stinks.
Well, I'm not questioning whether they're good or they're bad. I'm just saying people's arguments are inconsistent. That's all I'm saying. If you got an argument, stick with it.
Right.
Mm.
Y'all maneuver your argument depending on the city that they play for, or depending on how big of a star they are. Victor Wembanyama is obviously a big star. Caruso's got he's got pedigree on the defensive end, so we kind of write him in. You was talking about Steph Curry earlier. Steph Curry gets written in on pedigree, Steph Curry's out. There's no question Steph Curry's one of the greatest players we've ever seen. Is he one of the 15 best players in the league this year? There's an easy way to make an argument that he's not. But he's Steph Curry. So he gets the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
When you're in Sacramento, you don't get the benefit of the doubt.
In a star-driven league, that's how it's always going to be, though.
And it shouldn't be that way, though.
Right.
No, I agree.
It shouldn't be like we got more resources, we got more abilities for people like Zach Lowe and other voters to not be lazy. You got nothing but time. This is your job. This is why I am so hard on those guys for this. This is your job. You're an NBA writer or reporter. Your job is to cover the league and do a good job at it, not to watch the same 7 teams. And if you want to just watch the same 7 teams, then say that's what you're a reporter of, not the NBA, not knowing what you're watching. Like we go through this all the time of not saying that they're this great team, but people that fundamentally that cover the league sources, league reporters, all this other stuff that just inaccurately talk about what's going on with the Sacramento Kings. Just flat out wrong. Like you haven't watched 5 games, because if you did, the things you're saying, you would know, oh, I can't necessarily say that because, I've watched 5 games and this is what Sabonis means, or this is what Monk does, or this is who Keon Ellis is.
Right.
Like they just damn near, Keon Ellis played half the season. They just now discovering who the man is. So that tells me, once again, we talk about it all the time, they showing themselves for what they do or what they don't do. And these are the people that not only hold awards in their hands, but now they hold people's salary in their hands.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What they can make.
That's nuts.
All because you want to go with a narrative, or go with what's comfortable with. To me, I don't disagree about Caruso. I watched a good amount of Bulls, but not a whole lot, not as much as Manny. Caruso got that off a reputation. He didn't do anything this year that changed the game or changed the course of their season with how he played defense.
They're playing tonight.
Not because of him and not because of his defense. Kobe White had more to do with that, and what he was at. And DeMar DeRozan, who's probably the clutch player of the year, had more to do with that.
No, but to that point, if Alex Caruso had come up with the, Thunder or the Blazers and then gone to the Bulls, he probably doesn't have the rep that he has.
Hell, I mean, and to that point, he should be over SGA.
That's nuts.
I'll forget about De'Aaron and all these other guys at this point. Caruso should be on that list ahead of SGA.
Yeah, you can't convince me of that. You can't convince me of that. I think it's also one of those things where it's like Zach Lowe's really sharp. I believe I absolutely believe
I like Zach Lowe. I do I respect the work that he puts in with the whole league.
I'm open to the idea that we could have Zach Lowe sit here and talk us through this, and then I would be convinced that he's right.
Yeah, I don't think he could convince me that he's right.
Yeah, I hear him talk on his pod, and I'll be like, "You're intelligent. You're intelligent. You made a sound argument. I disagree. You're wrong."
Yeah,
sure. All right.
That's what I get with Zach Lowe sometimes.
He also named his. He also gave us his 6th man of the year ballot.
Malik Monk.
Naz Reid at number 1. Malik Monk at number 2. Bogdan Bogdanović at number 3.
Who?
Bogey.
Oh, okay.
Did you see? Was that Hollinger who put Jonathan Isaac as 3rd ahead of Malik Monk?
Jonathan Isaac, I'm sorry, John.
Was that your boy? Who was it?
I thought it was Hollinger.
Oh, was it? Oh, it was Hollinger. That's right.
On,
yeah,
man.
It was. It was.
Wait,
didn't your boy do it too? Bill.
He might have.
I feel like Bill
that's
Simmons
not my
had
boy.
Malik out of the top 3. That's your boy. That's your man.
That ain't my boy.
That's your man. Yeah, that's your man. Zach again extensively writes up how ignoring Naz Reid's performance when he was the starter would be impossible.
Hold on, man. Let me check something, because I think at this point, Naz Reid might have started about 20 games.
Well, he obviously, he's started when Karl-Anthony Towns went out, right?
Yeah.
That's when he took over, and he averaged, I think, 19 points per game or something like that.
He only started 14 games.
14. I mean,
Yeah, but did you see his performance in those 14 games? 6 man of the year stuff.
We kind of knew this though, right? When Malik got injured, 73 games into the season, I think, we knew, oh, they're going to ignore him when it comes to this 6 man of the year award.
If Malik had stayed healthy and they win that game against Dallas where he got hurt, because I think they would have. I think they win that game with Malik. And they win, let's say, the Suns game and pick another game they lost. Let's flip it and call it a W.
Okay.
And they wind up as a 6th seed. Malik's getting all the first place votes.
Yeah, I think so.
Is that it's silly?
Yeah, I think there's a certain level of out of sight, out of mind.
Yes. Especially at the end of the year.
Yeah, especially here.
You know what else happened though? You know what else happened? And I think you brought this up yesterday, is they showed Sacramento a lot of love last year.
Yeah.
And they said, all right, we showed you love last year. I ain't going to say like, we're not going to make that mistake again, but like, we're not doing that again. We acknowledge this is how they think. We acknowledge your cute little story last year.
Yep.
Now it's back to business.
Yep. 100%.
That's how they treated this whole thing.
Yeah, that's
a good point.
It's absolutely what I think it is. You got Coach of the Year last year. You got Clutch Player of the Year.
Two All-NBA guys.
Yep.
Executive
of the Year. Yeah, that's it. And now you're going to see like the Thunder are probably going to get a lot of nods like that.
Yeah.
And the Timberwolves will get a lot of nods like that. I think Mark Daigneault's going to win Coach of the Year.
Yep.
Which was wild that Joe Mazzola just like can't win the award. Like it's just crazy to me.
The who?
The Boston Celtics coach.
Oh yeah, no, team's too good.
It can't win the award.
Team's too good. It's why Kyle Shanahan can't win it.
Dude's like a what? 2nd year coach.
Yeah.
Right. This is his 2nd year.
Just got randomly thrust into the head coaching job.
Bro, that's crazy. Joe Mazzola became the Boston Celtics head coach because Will Hardy went to Utah. Will Hardy went to Utah. Yes. Will wanted to take Joe with him, and Brad said, no, we need him here with Ime. So they say no to that. Ime does the thing.
Sure.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
And all of a sudden, Joe Mazzola, who was like the 3rd or 4th assistant, is now the head coach of the Boston Celtics.
Joe Mazzola was getting his pickup game in.
That's a shoot. Yo.
I need you to coach.
For real.
That set you just ran, draw that up.
Yeah, he said, well, all right, man, I'll coach, but I got to play my pickup game still.
So I asked, I got that. I asked questions about how this works because obviously whenever the Kings season ends, we're likely going to lose Jordy Fernandez. And I wondered how much of, how much of the Kings coaching staff is going to change because Jordy might want some people to go with him. And I was told that coaches and GMs have input on that. In that, like, Jordy might say, hey, I want Lindsey Harding to come with me and be my, first row assistant.
Sure.
And Mike and Monty can say no. Like, we can't.
So they're under like long-term contracts.
Yeah,
because in the NFL, basically every assistant is on a year-over-year contract for the most part, where if they're getting a promotion, a team can't like block them from going. So in the NBA, though, it doesn't matter. A team and or a coach and GM can just say, nope, they're ours.
So for instance, if Jordy wanted to take Jay, Mike Brown and Monty could say, no, you can't take him.
As long as Jay is under contract, yeah.
Unless he's right, as long as he's under contract. Got it.
Yeah, so they'll have say in who goes, and normally those contracts are lined up with the head coach because the head coach puts together their coaching staff, which is what Jordy, I'm sure, is in the process of doing now. As much as he's focused on the New Orleans Pelicans tonight, I'm sure Jordy is one. I'm sure when he went in for his interview, he had an idea of what his coaching staff would be. And I'm sure if there involves anyone from the Sacramento Kings, that's already been run by Mike and Monty.
Yes.
The one thing that I like about Jordy Fernandez being the one that leaves. Number one, good. First and foremost, just happy for him to get that opportunity.
Definitely.
That's phenomenal. But second, it's almost like Kyle Shanahan losing an offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Brown is a defensive guy.
Yes.
Mike Brown is
right. Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say orchestrating the whole thing because he delegates a lot to
He's
Jordy.
a defensive coach.
Yeah. So the gains that they've made on the defensive end towards the end of this season, I don't see any of that leaving if Jordy's leaving. I think it's going to be the same type of cohesive look, and whoever he brings in will have that same mentality that he has as well.
Yeah, you'd hope so, for sure.
But that's also the good thing about having a guy like Jordy who's interviewed with so many teams before is Mike and Monty and this Sacramento Kings organization isn't stunned.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, losing Jordy really caught us off guard. They've been preparing, like they've known this is going to happen for well over a year now.
They've
like
had
we thought it might.
plan,
Yeah. So
whether I'm glad he's not going to Charlotte or something weird like that.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I'm glad Lindsay got that interview. I had the chance to talk to her a little bit about it. I'm glad she got that interview, but that's a tough.
It's a bad spot.
That's a tough first job, man. I mean, and someone has to take it,
right?
But that's a tough first gig.
Yeah.
Jordy Fernandez, Team Canada head coach. Did you see that quote from Dylan Brooks the other day?
That was wild.
He said, man,
they won.
All these guys get me.
They won gold at FIBA, so
that's gonna be a hell of a game.
Talk is trash.
I'm up at 2 a.m. to watch that game.
Same.
USA
Same.
versus Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm up to watch that. That's gonna be some good stuff.
Watch party at the studio.
Maybe.
Dylan Brooks going to give KD the Angola treatment, just elbowing Kevin Durant on the way down the court.
That's gonna be some good stuff.
I can't wait.
But
USA team is fire though.
No, they are.
Like that is
I'm so excited
fire
for that.
team.
They are.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
Stacked.
I know it's kind of. I know
Some
that-
old dudes, but like
I know
that's a
that-
fire team.
I know there's people who wanted to see like some younger players and were like, "This is dumb." Da da da. It's like I want to see all these guys play together before they can't. Anymore.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
that's-
I'm happy
absolutely.
we get this at this point.
It's crazy. This is Steph's first, right?
First Olympics.
That's crazy. That
The
is
gold medal
crazy.
is the gold medal is the thing like missing from his resume.
Wow.
Until that, he can't be an all-timer.
That is
Okay.
crazy. So, moral of the story is, Zach Lowe, I respect you. I even like you. This was dumb.
Don't come to Sacramento, Zach.
No,
Well,
Zach.
Zach,
It's on site.
There's no trick situation with Zach. It's not like Coffee Boy. You know, it's not that situation.
I'm gonna tweet him my coffee order right now.
Zach Lowe's welcome in Sacramento. He's just wrong. Like
Just
you
wrong.
could be welcome in Sacramento and be wrong. He's just wrong.
You can't be welcome. to
Coffee
Sacramento.
Boy, on the other hand,
Yeah.
is an idiot.
You can't be a jackass and be welcome.
Yeah,
to Sacramento.
he's an idiot.
You're
We'll come
wrong
back.
or a jackass, but not both.
Can't be both. Can't be both. We're live at Sky River Casino, 32 Brew Street, D'Lo KC, Kyle Matson. We're happy that you're here with us, whether it's in person, whether it's on the live stream, or it's on 98.5 FM HD2, 1320 AM, wherever you are. We appreciate you so much for being with us here on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320. I'm going to run to the bathroom. Can you keep your ear out?
Are those French fries? I'm gonna eat some.
We got stuff to talk about. I'm talking about 13 grand.
No 13. Well, we can talk about it right now. Go ahead, get on the mic. Go ahead. We'll talk about it.
That ain't the only thing we can talk about.
But he had to.
He
paid out, right? So it's still on.
the fight's still on, but we also Bud now has a fight.
Who we find? I didn't see it.
No, dude named Israel Madrimov. It's through the same promotion group as they did the Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury fight. The
He getting the
Arabian
Saudi
people.
bag? He going to Saudi?
No, it's coming here to LA. But it's with the
Well,
Saudi
look,
group.
I'm not gonna be mad at it because Bud has to. He got to fight,
And he's moving up.
He got to fight.
He's
so-
moving up to 54.
All right.
He's
All
moving
right,
up to 54.
He
and
got
fighting
to. He got to
this dude for
take a
his
fight.
title.
So I'm not mad at it.
Hey, regardless, I think Bud's gonna beat him.
Of course he is. He's the best fighter in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, we gotta do what he gotta do.
Exactly.
It's okay. It's okay. It's good.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, regardless whether Bud stays at 47 or 54.
Nah, he'll handle dude. But you know, I am a believer at some point
Because
you max out. Like you can't just go beating up everybody at every.
Here's
weight
the other
class.
thing that same article said about the fight. Dude was supposed to fight Jermell.
Yeah, Mel.
Yeah, he's supposed to fight Jermell. Jermell stepped aside, and said, "All right, go ahead and fight him. Go ahead and fight this dude."
Well, that's what they're gonna be setting up. They're gonna be setting up Mel versus Bud in the fall.
Because I know Bud don't like either one of them. Because
that'll be a good build-up.
who was the one that he was talking to? Was it Mel or was it Maul that he was talking to right before Errol Spence? Okay, yeah, they're gonna set the yeah. I mean, Bud's gonna be either one. I think Bud may embarrass them if he fights Jermell. I think he'll embarrass him as bad as he I think he'll embarrass him as bad as he embarrassed Errol Spence, and that was an embarrassment.
Bud trying to get that Canelo fight.
Canelo don't want it. Come on, Jesse. You know your mans don't want it.
Bud will get it before Benavidez. Stop.
And Canelo won't be able to catch it.
Bud walking around in size 7s. He want to fight this guy.
And Canelo's still not gonna catch
He
Bud.
in your weight class, Canelo.
He ain't gonna catch him.
He in your weight class. But the thing with Garcia and Haney gonna beat the brakes off.
Here's
that
my
boy.
question: who's gonna embarrass Ryan Garcia more, Tank or Devin Haney tomorrow?
Nah, Haney's is gonna be nasty. Tank knocked him out, beat him and everything.
Yeah.
Haney gonna bludgeon him. Yeah, 32 Bruce Street. D-Lo and KC, man, here at Sky River Casino. Getting you ready for Kings, Pelicans, play-in game, 8th seed on the line in New Orleans.
Man.
I'm charged up, man. I'm charged up. I am charged up. Look. I'm expecting, I'm not saying it's a guarantee or anything like that. Hear me when I say it. Understand what I'm saying. I'm preparing myself. I'm expecting to be right back here unofficially or whatever on Sunday for game 1. I'm expecting to be back here at 32 Bruce Street for game 1.
Jonathan threw Kyle out of the
I
show.
was wondering what happened. I was like, oh, okay.
Y'all give it up for our man, Jonathan.
Jonathan really is the GOAT, man.
The entire building falls apart without Jonathan.
Absolutely.
That's a
They're
true story.
asking Jonathan to basically like remove walls and ceilings and stuff like that and just turn our little meeting area completely around.
Yeah.
Like he's a contractor.
Pretty much. So you're so turned up. You say you're ready for game 1 or playoff game being played here next Saturday.
I'm preparing myself to be right here on Sunday at 6:30. Yeah. I'm preparing to be right back here Sunday at 6:30. Hey, Dave.
I was confused. You're getting ready for game 1. I was like, that game's Saturday.
Oh,
I'm thinking the home game.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about here, like
I
it's
got
32
you.
Bruce Street.
I got you.
I packed for multiple cities. You know what I'm saying? That's how I did my road trip. I didn't pack for just New Orleans. I packed for OKC too.
Easy to do with the PJ.
Well, it's true.
You don't got to
That's
check
true.
bags and stuff.
Yeah. It's the way to travel. Not all of us can travel that way, only, of course.
I don't know. I saw the ads on your Forbes article there.
Yeah, come on, man. It wasn't Jason Whitlock.
Oh, what?
He said he saw
Please
the ad.
explain.
He saw no,
Oh,
because
yeah.
remember Whitlock got in trouble.
Oh,
So we know your search. We know the search history.
Oh.
So yeah, that's what it's saying.
wow. I wasn't even paying attention. I don't even know what they were.
Yeah, man, come on, man. It's some big money talk over there.
What was it?
A lot of beaches in those
Come
photos.
on, man.
Oh.
It's big money talk over there.
I'm just looking for screensavers. That's all I'm doing.
Is that a G5 on sale?
A G5 on sale.
Let me ask you a Warriors-related question.
Ah, do we have to?
Is Clay play for Golden
Ah.
State next year?
Maybe. I kind of think he does. So here's
Yeah.
the thing.
The Warriors are kind of fascinating. I'm fascinated with.
Are they? No,
Yeah,
Nah,
like
they're
what they
really
do.
interesting.
Like
No,
what
they
what
are.
happens.
They are.
really interesting.
They are. So here's the deal. It's what do they do? What do they not do? It comes down to Steph. It's what does Steph want? And if Steph says, I need Clay and Draymond here, we need them to win, then they're going to be there.
Yeah, but like win what? Basketball games?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
'cause you're not.
I think they're of the belief that the Steph, Clay, and Draymond core with Pods, Brandon Pajemski, and Trace Jackson Davis, and then maybe you're dealing Moses Moody, and maybe you're dealing Jonathan Kuminga, but the haul that you can get back for those guys with Steph, Clay, and Draymond would be enough to be a contender. But that's, I mean, I think that's what's going to happen.
There's a part of me when I think about the Warriors where, like, I just think they're in this weird phase where what they need to be a true contender isn't necessarily available.
Exactly. Yeah, they need a star.
Yeah. Well, how about this? Where people say, and both of you guys tell me what you think. There's a line of thinking out there that I think is worth a discussion. Like, I'm not saying it's blasphemous, but Steph Curry can't be the best player on the championship team anymore.
No, that's right. No, that's just correct. You just saw it. I mean, that's the bottom line.
So
Klay Thompson can't be your second best player. Draymond Green can't be your third
I
best
think
player.
that stuff is more of a factor than the Steph Curry stuff.
But see, so like the thought is, just for instance, they get Karl Anthony Towns, right? Karl Anthony Towns won't be better than Steph Curry. And since Steph Curry's the best player on that team, they can't be a championship team. Like, he's not at that point of his career anymore. Do you agree with that? Like,
No, I don't think so. I don't think I do. I think the bigger issue isn't Steph at 1. It's at who's 2 and 3. Like, if you're 2 and 3 are elevated, I still feel like Steph can be the guy.
Yeah.
let's say that scenario, though. They get Karl Anthony Towns. You think they're a championship team? They lose Wiggins and Kuminga.
Man, and Clay and Draymond are still there. No, I don't know that I do. I would rather lose one of them and keep Trace Jackson Davis and Andrew Wiggins.
That's the thing is, I don't think they have that much value. I don't think that's why everybody goes.
Clay and Draymond?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Like Clay might go get paid in free agency, and good for him. If he does, then so be it. But I was talking with our guy Jason and Dr. David a little bit ago, and they go, "Oh, what happens to Draymond? What? He's staying. They're not attaching first to get rid of him,
Yeah.
and no team's taking that on. So he's going to be around, and I think Clay's just going to be around, and they're going to hope that. I think realistically, they're looking at this because it's over. Like the Steph, Clay, Draymond as title contenders is done. That's just that's finished. That happened last year, but that I think they're going to.
It
hang
happened
on
the
to
year
that.
before they accidentally won one.
Yeah, right. Well, the 2022 title was the worst thing that could happen to them. I'll tell you what. No, but
That's a crazy sentence.
It is. I mean, it's
I
not.
understand what
It's
you're
not.
saying.
But it forced them to hang on to this longer than they needed.
Well,
to.
it made them to
It's just
believe like
Right. So last year they went, "Oh, we're defending a title," and it became really clear
Like,
during the Kings
okay.
series. Look. I love you guys. All due respect. Last year's Kings against the 2017 or 18 Warriors is losing in 4 or 5.
Yeah.
That's just it. It's done. And I don't mean disrespect. That's just where the Warriors were.
And it's like
But
90% of the
last
teams
year-
ever in the NBA.
Right. No doubt. No doubt. That's what I'm saying. So last year they go down 2-0, and it was like, oh, this is just done. They might come back and win this series, but it's done.
Yeah.
This team doesn't fall behind 2-0. And they go on, they win the series, I think in part because De'Aaron broke his finger. But they go on, they win that series, and it was really clear against the Lakers, like, okay, yeah, this is done. And then they come back this year. They're the 10 seed. They lose in the first playing game. So now they can make adult decisions. And if they're doing it the right way, then I think you're not paying Klay Thompson unless he's coming back super cheap.
So I bring up all that stuff about Steph being a number one, and because you can't go get a number one, you're not going to be a true title contender. Like they're in this limbo where because of the assets or lack thereof and just the landscape of the NBA, like I don't think you're getting Giannis, or I don't think you're getting these, right? So let
me ask you, can I
go
stop you real quick? Let me ask you this. Because I'm biased, so I agree with Dame. but I think realistically, I think you're probably right. Wait, which one thought Steph couldn't be on a one on a title team?
I'd said he couldn't.
You could. You think he can?
I think he can.
Okay, so my heart agrees with Dame. My brain agrees with you. So who is the worst player they could add who you would be like, okay, now they're a title contender? And figure it means no Kuminga, no Moody, but they keep everybody else. Just in theory, we're wiping out money.
See, I know you're not talking to me, but I feel like part of the problem is I think you've got to get rid of those other two guys, or at least one of them.
Klay and Draymond?
Yes.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, but Draymond ain't going nowhere.
Right, Draymond's around, so Klay's got to walk.
Then I don't think there's a circumstance where the Warriors are a title contender.
He
has to be gone.
Klay?
You have
or Draymond?
Who's on first?
Draymond. Draymond Green. He has to be off of the Golden State Warriors.
And he,
I don't know, man. He's 12-5-3 the other night.
Well, even aside from that, he won't be. Like he won't be. He's going to be on that roster opening night next year.
I would be stunned.
I'm not even sure that he is. Yeah, I'm sure that he is. Yeah. But there's no conversation about them being title contenders if Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green are all still on the same team, because they're just not going to be.
Yeah, not a realistic one. I agree.
So what I was going to get at was there is a aspect of me and maybe a lot of other Warriors fans that say, to your point, to what you were just saying, there's not really a realistic move that'll get you into a championship spot or jumpstart another run or anything else like that. So is it the worst thing in the world to just let your guys ride off into the sunset together?
So that's what I think they're doing. I think that's 100%. They're going to bring Klay back. They're going to say, hey, maybe Kuminga and Podziemski and Trace Jackson Davis become these stars, or maybe they trade Kuminga because they got to pay him this offseason. So, or they can pay him. Maybe they trade him, but maybe Podziemski and Trace Jackson Davis and whatever they get post Kuminga is enough to get them in contention, and they're just kind of around during the final years of Steph, Klay, and Draymond, and they could have a big farewell tour, and they'll sell a bunch of tickets. And I really think that's their plan. I really do.
If any franchise in the league has built up enough equity to just ride out a couple of 3-4 years, it's the Golden State Warriors.
But the problem with that to me is you actually have talent on the Warriors. Like, I think Trace Jackson Davis is good. I think Pods is good.
But that talent
isn't the next 2 or 3 years.
That talent, though, isn't going to make you better than where you are if you bring those guys back.
And I think there's value. I think there's value in you.
No, it's not. Guys. Go ahead.
You can develop those players over the next 2, because we're not talking.
But that's my point. I don't think you can develop them with those guys there. Because I don't think those guys
Trace carved out Trace started their playing game. Pods had a huge role down the stretch of the season.
And I think there'll always be a ceiling on what they can do with those other twos there.
Yeah, and Pods. I mean, I like Pods as much as anybody. I think he's a backup point or backup guard. He's not. We all like him. He's not
stars.
He's no. He's not. Even today, he shouldn't be starting ahead of Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson played well down there in the season when they played well.
He shot 41% after the All-Star break. Yeah. But he's just, I don't know, man.
And even if Pods
should have been All-NBA third team then.
I agree. Those last 18 games are crazy.
Really did it for him. Really did it for him.
No, I don't know, man. For me, and this is why people in the chatty house and people work on, oh, how are you feeling on Wednesday? It's like, I don't care, dude. They did it. It's over now. And that stinks. But I don't I saw this coming.
The other question of all this is, you will know better than anybody. Does Steph Curry have it in him to go to management the way he needs to if he wants to be on a winning team?
And say, get Clay and Draymond out of here?
Yeah, say, yo, this is unacceptable, or get me out of here. But I'm not, like what I just said, like, oh, let the little farewell tour happen, and for 3-4 years, we just smile. Does Steph have it in him to say, I'm still trying to win chips? I'm not for all that. So get them out of there and be serious about winning. And if you're not, get me out of here. I don't think he does.
But I think the problem with that logic is I think this is right. That Steph looks at Clay and Draymond and goes, we can't win a title if Clay or Draymond leaves. I need these guys here. Maybe the roles are different. Maybe they're both coming off the bench. But I need those guys here. Whatever culture we've built, whatever system we've built that needs them, and then it's up to the front office to supplement around them.
Whatever culture we built. You realize the dude punched the teammate in the face last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And look,
whatever culture we built.
And
Jesus
look here,
Christ.
A year later, I think we differ on this one. But a year later, they sure could have used Jordan Poole this year. They should have never got rid of him. I don't know. I'm not saying get rid of Draymond. They shouldn't have got rid of Jordan Poole.
I was pro Poole in the Poole v. Draymond thing. As much as I hated watching him play basketball last year, that was a disaster. I think long term that would have been the better move.
They could have used him this year.
He stinks now. Oh my God.
Yeah. Now Zach Lowe here. He played a lot better when he got benched. And I think it was the final 20 games of the season. He went back into the starting lineup, and he played well. So maybe
second team All NBA.
Zach Lowe. maybe he worked through whatever he needed to work through, and hopefully he could keep moving. But the guy averaged 20 points a game in a terrible year.
I thought that was wild that they traded him for Chris Paul. That was just nuts.
And what happens with that?
Yeah, what happens with Chris Paul now?
His contract isn't guaranteed, so maybe they just let him bounce.
That was my thought.
Steve Kerr said before the game the other night that these are the most comfortable non-Steph minutes they've had since he's been there, which is wild. That is crazy.
Well, Chris was really good for that second.
He was. I'm not trying to disparage Chris Paul, but they have Kevin Durant. Like Sean Livingston was pretty good.
No, they really do erase Kevin Durant from their history.
Nutty,
like
dude.
he's not a part of their 2 championships.
Hey, let me ask both of you guys this. Say a trade goes down and Davion has to be involved. Would you bring Chris Paul here?
I would for sure.
For, a reasonable contract.
Yeah.
Chris Paul in Sacramento? Yeah, in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
I would too.
Especially now that
I think very highly of Chris Paul. Like I do that
as a player.
heartbeat.
I do too. Rooting for him is the worst. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I have no problem rooting for
Do you
Chris
know
Paul.
how much of me died when he'd hit that stupid little 15-footer, and I gotta like, hell yeah, Chris.
I didn't think he was going to finish the year there, to be honest. Like when the deal got done, I was like, they're going to use this as one of those psycho warrior trade pieces because his contract's like 30 some odd million dollars.
Yeah, but the killer is, and what's going to be this summer, and this is kind of back to what we talked. There really ain't nothing out there like that.
Right.
I think Brandon Ingram might be available. I think Donovan Mitchell might be available. I think Cat might be.
These are different levels of availability, by the way. That you're talking about.
Be a trade,
right? And
be a trade.
This is where I don't know if the Warriors have the assets to pull off any of those kind of deals.
Right, and that's before we talk about Giannis, if he ever asks out. I don't think it'll be this summer, but if it's like the next summer, Paul George, interesting. But you'd have to pay Paul. Well, I guess you'd have money now, right?
Who?
Paul George. Like you'd have to pay him.
Yeah, he would have to opt out. I think he's a player option.
He does.
Yeah.
It's like 40.
Oh, he's taking that.
It's a lot.
I think
he's taking that.
I think he might get back.
Paul George is self-aware.
He might get mad.
I think he could get that though.
Yeah, he get, what? Yeah.
Yeah, Paul George could absolutely get that.
They're already saying Philly's willing to do it.
What?
Yeah, what would his starting salary be on a new team?
Probably 40 something or
Yeah, he'd get that.
high 30s.
He'd absolutely get that for 3 years. Why are you so perplexed by
Damn,
this?
that's crazy.
Paul George?
Yes.
No, it's not. That is not crazy. That's not crazy.
It's a little crazy.
It's not crazy. That's a
If
league.
you're Philly,
That's
that's
a
crazy
league.
to give Paul George that money. So you could say Maxey, Paul George, and Joel Embiid.
Oh, okay. That's a little different.
Because Tobias's
Damn,
money is
now he's
coming
your
off.
third. Now you got the Michael Jordan of Tobias Harris's.
Yeah.
Dang.
The Michael Jordan of Tobias Harris. My goodness.
Is he not?
No, that's hate. That's hate. That's hate.
That's a little bit of hate. That's a little bit of hate.
Why?
It's a little bit of hate on Paul
He is
George
not
and
the
a little
Michael
bit,
Jordan.
and then a little bit of
He is
hate
the-
on Tobias
Hey,
Harris.
He is the Paul
I
George.
can't decide who
George
you're
fucking
hating on
watched
more.
Tobias Harris before, but Tobias Harris has gotten paid to be a player that he has never been.
Tobias
That-
Harris about to get another $100
There
million.
was a hope for a long time that Tobias Harris would be the player that Paul George is and was,
Tobias Harris about to get another $100 million.
which is bananas, dude. No, Tobias Harris just never became what Paul George was, and I think there was a hope that he would.
Paul George is
I'm
Paul
trying to
George.
compliment Paul George. Paul George is great.
Paul George is
George's a
Paul
Hall of
George.
Famer.
He ain't no
The Michael Jordan of Tobias Harris is not a compliment. It's shade on at least two people. At minimum, it's shade on two people.
All right.
And I don't think Michael Jordan would appreciate it either. I'm not positive. I just don't think that he would.
I'm gonna let this marinate.
Okay.
You think? Hey, you guys brought up Brandon Ingram earlier. I'm out on Brandon Ingram.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I wish you could have saved that take for 10 o'clock
yeah,
tonight.
chill, bro.
Speak nicely of the Kings' opponents tonight.
He's going for 40
You
tonight.
can say you're out on
No,
Zion because he ain't playing.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, Zion Williamson out, by the way, tonight.
Where's the whiteboard?
No, I just do you know when okay, you guys are on that tip. I'm used to doing a show with James where we're very straightforward. But you guys are on the tip of like, I can't say what I got to say about Brandon Ingram.
We can talk about we can really talk because I disagree with you. Genuinely disagree.
No,
with
it's fine. He's the greatest player in the league. He's the Michael Jordan of Tobias Harris's.
you. What don't you like about Brandon? That he can't stay healthy?
Brandon Ingram
Or his game?
is the Tobias Harris of Kevin Durant's.
Oh my.
I feel great about that one.
Brandon Ingram.
No, he's good. I don't know. He's good.
So he's not.
Now,
I think
don't
he's
wanna
not
say it 'cause
franchised.
you guys are right. If I say what I want to say, he's going to score 50 tonight.
Well, no. This is a safe place. We've already put the caveats out there. So
He has one 40-point game this year. Do you know who he's against? Washington.
So okay. So what you're saying is he's not a number one.
Well, wait. Yeah. What?
Yeah,
do-
he's just. I'm out. Yeah, I'm just.
If he
he's
came
fine.
here,
no, he's a good.
I
he's
think
a
we're
good player.
competing for a championship because we have Brandon Ingram here now.
Over Barnes?
Yeah,
Yes, definitely. He's a dramatically overqualified for.
and he would immediately be potentially your second best player. That's what I think about Brandon Ingram.
I don't know, man.
He'd be your second best player
Potentially
or your second best scorer?
your second best player. What you think,
Zach
Brandon
Lowe over
Ingram-
here.
Ingram comes here. You can just tell me. Ingram comes here. Harrison, Herter, Davion, a pick. So you're keeping Keegan and Monk and all this other stuff. Is Brandon Ingram the second best player on that team?
Nah,
He says he's third, behind Sabonis.
might be in front of Sabonis.
Brandon Ingram can go. Brandon Ingram go crazy. He can go.
He
Crazy.
can for sure, but there's a lot of guys in the league who can go crazy.
There's
I have
there's-
no reason to believe outside of intangible jinxes that Brandon Ingram is going to have any kind of game tonight.
Brandon Ingram led a team on a not a playoff run, but they won the 2 play-in games and took Phoenix. So I think that's the year they went to the finals to 6. Brandon Ingram led that team.
Yeah. What's he done since?
Well,
Not a
he's
lot.
been hurt. They've been
FYI.
trying to figure out the Zion situation.
I think there's still a level of. I think there's always been a level of what exactly is Brandon Ingram.
That's what I'm not scared of him the way I'm scared of Dame Lillard or Giannis or Joel Embiid or Jokic. I don't that's why I said I don't go into tonight going, I'm way more worried about CJ McCollum than I am Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but those
just-
guys that you mentioned are ones. I'm not arguing that Brandon Ingram is a one. I think he could be your second best player.
Okay. I don't think I hate that.
Okay.
I'm not sure I agree,
Is
but
BI the one
I
in
don't
New
know if I
Orleans?
disagree. He's supposed to be.
Or is
I
it
mean,
supposed to be
it's-
Zion?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Zion.
No, it's fair. Tonight. Oh my God, it's tonight. Oh my God. 4 hours till 2. I think tonight he probably is going to be.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, he will be tonight.
And that's why
He's gotta
that's
be
why
if
I
they
think
wanna win.
I don't want to speak. That's why I think the Kings got a shot.
Well, I think the problem with the Kings this year isn't just the one. It's been CJ. It's been
Trey.
Dyson Daniels, been Herb Jones. It's
Yeah,
been guys just getting buckets against Sacramento.
I guess. That's the thing is like the whole 0-5 thing. They lost that game most recently when the Kings are playing better defense and playing this brand of basketball they played since the break. They lost that game by 12. It wasn't like they got blown out. And,
Yeah,
oh
but
my God.
Yeah, you're right. But the Pelicans put up like 130 something in that game.
135. I think.
Yeah, it's fine. So they hit their threes. So what?
It's
But they've done that a
22.
lot. That's my concern about the game. They've hit their threes regularly against Sacramento.
Right. But I'm discounting the first 4 games significantly because of how much better the Kings have been defensively since the break.
Okay.
They did hit 22 the other night, so I don't. They can
absurd.
still have the Kings number and not hit 22.
That's
You know
the
what I
thing.
mean?
They could go. What were they? 22 of 40.
They shot 55%.
think
That's 55%.
So 22 of 40. I think that was. They could go 18 of 40 and we have a tie game, and they still shot the hell out of the ball.
Right.
I think I got a shot.
Absolutely.
I think they got a shot too.
Absolutely.
They
I feel
absolutely
good
got a
tonight,
shot.
man.
No,
We're
you
gonna talk
guys.
about
No,
it.
you guys said they have no shot. It's fine.
It's the Kings and the Pelicans with a chance to go to the playoffs. We're going to talk more about it. We're live at 32 Brew Street inside Sky River Casino. We're so happy that you're here with us on Sacramento Sports Leader ESPN 1320.
We got Kyle Madsen, the Kyle Madsens of the Insiders.
Am I allowed to stay, Jonathan?
I know. I'm about to say. I don't know, man.
I gotta go.
Sounds good over the air, man.
Good. I was listening to criticize me, so I was wondering if it sounded better or worse.
Oh, so much better.
Chatty Howard. Oh, boy. Yes, Kyle sabotaged us.
If you ever go to England, I can't wait. If you ever go to England, after you eat the French fries there. I can stick around for a little bit. Oh. Rihanna.
Yes, indeed. Live at 32 Bruce Street inside Sky River Casino. Shout out to everybody who comes through. I see the 209ers are in the building. I see Jess is here. Super PT is here.
Can I ask you guys a question in person that's been kind of blowing up on Twitter? See what your guys' answers are.
Yes.
So, you know that movie with Michael Cera?
Yep.
And the girl from what's not Breaking Dawn, the movie, the vampire movies.
Oh, Kristen Stewart.
Yes. So they got a movie entitled Sacramento, and it's like it's about to come out or whatever. And I asked people on Twitter, and it's just been going crazy. I was like, what has to be in that movie to make it authentic? But like, that's Sacramento. Or you did it right. People said like Marie Donuts. People been funny and talked about Dancing Ken or whatever. All this other stuff. I say
D'Lo and KC.
That's what I said. Somebody's got to be in the chatty house.
They got to be riding around listening to D'Lo.
Probably Ramsey. Ramsey's got to be in it. That'll make it authentic.
They said they shot it around Midtown and like East Sac.
Now, I have a question.
think I need the Tower Bridge.
The Tower Bridge.
Is this taking place modern, or is this like a Lady Bird situation?
Yeah, I heard it's. I don't know. I heard it's like maybe a throwback type, but not too far. Like maybe early 2000s, late 90s, or something like that. Because people were saying the beam has to be in it, but they're like, yeah, it's not present time. Somebody said it wasn't present time.
Oh, the FM 102 bumper sticker.
No, they gonna get Dave talk about Club Ricky.
Yeah, Club Ricky's. Yeah.
That's
I need somebody wearing a Monarchs
705 J
t-shirt.
Street.
Stat.
Yeah, you do that.
Downtown Plaza, Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, that works too.
They got to go shop at Tower Records.
Yeah,
Somebody
Tower
did
Records
say
is a must.
Like
yeah.
a Tower Records bag.
Yeah, Tower
or
Records is a
something like
must.
that, yeah.
That
What's
old
it-
school yellow bag with the red writing.
What was the other? Wasn't there another record store in Sac? Like one down Arden, maybe?
One down Arden.
Dimple.
Yeah,
Dimple.
Dimple Records
That's
was on
Dimple.
Arden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, it was
There used to be like the Warehouse and Sam Goody and
Circuit
Sam
City.
Goody.
Circuit.
Go to Circuit
Yo,
City.
Circuit City is wild.
That's where the
Yeah.
plug was. On Tuesday, I go
Circuit
get
City.
10 CDs for the price of one.
I feel like turning Circuit City into like an optics place is kind of disrespectful.
Is that what it is?
Isn't that what happened?
Well,
Isn't that where it was?
the
Or is it
Circuit
the
City.
Bevmo?
No, the Circuit City I know is a
Isn't it Total Wine?
Or Total Wine. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
well, the one
It's
that I
whichever
know.
one wants to sponsor the program.
Oh, there you go.
The one that I know off of Florin Road is like it's not Levitt's. It's one of those furniture stores though. I can't remember. I went in there.
Well, I always knew the one on Arden. That was the one that was like the hostage.
Yeah.
I thought the one on Florin Road was the one on was the hostage one.
I thought that was the one on Arden because I think it was across the street from.
Yeah, it was by Florin Mall. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the one across from where the old KSFM building used to be.
Yeah, no, it was the one. It was the one on Florin Mall. The one that I'm talking about is like a furniture store now. That's by where Toys R Us used to be.
I was talking about how in Arden.
That's Dimple.
Yeah, that's Total Wine.
That's Total Wine.
Oh,
Yeah, Total Wine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And that's where the old KSFM
Did
building
you know
used to be.
there's
Was
still
how
a
about
Radio
Arden?
Shack?
wow.
No,
I
We
didn't know.
visited Kansas. My wife is from Kansas.
she is from Kansas.
And we were driving around.
Which is always
Kansas.
funny to me. I don't know why. There's nothing funny about it. Just you married a girl from Kansas.
Of course I
and
did,
that's spectacular.
bro. We tater tot casserole. What's up?
Yeah.
But we're driving around Kansas, and she's showing me these places she grew up. And yeah, here's my high school. Here's this restaurant. Oh, we went to this place. We went to a place. Can I tell you the name of this place we went to? The punchline of this story: we drove past a real Radio Shack, like with people and stuff in it. They have a place called the Nifty Nut House,
Whoa.
Okay.
and I went.
Yeah. Hey. Go ahead.
How's
Pause.
it a flag?
Yeah.
What's the name of the joint?
Zay's calling for a pause.
What are they doing there?
Nut.
Yeah, what are they doing? That?
Whoa! Hey! Yo! Easy J! Get him out of here! Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I said nothing.
Oh man.
So what do they do there? Nothing. They sell
There was
Almonds?
no TH there. There was no
Nothing.
TH. It was just all T.
none. I've never been actually scolded by Jesse.
That's
They get
hilarious.
almonds, cashews, things of that nature.
So was it like? And I'm just talking now. I'm just saying. Was it? I never been to the Nut Tree. You ever been there?
No,
Wasn't that what that was like? Or what? No,
I
it was a
said I
restaurant.
hadn't been there.
But I thought you might know what it was like.
No,
I
no,
think
no
it's
idea.
a restaurant. Isn't it a restaurant or wasn't it a restaurant?
Not a single person could participate now. I messed it up. Anyway, I
Hey,
saw
shout out-
Radio Shack. I didn't know there were any.
Well, look, shout out to my man Hong over at Phenom. Big ups to him. It was a Good Guys that was a hostage.
Oh,
It was a Good Guys that was
Guys.
behind Florin Mall. That was the hostage one. That was crazy. I remember being a little kid and seeing that situation. That was crazy. I'm like, yo, and obviously it's like Florin Road, like right behind Florin Mall.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm there all the time.
Yeah.
And like, what are they doing over there as hostage? I don't know if you heard Dave, my man Hung. He said that was a Good Guys over there, not a Circuit City. That was the hostage place. He's right. It was a Good
Good
Guys.
guys.
Oh, it was a good guys. Okay.
You know, I really thought it was popping in Sacramento when Virgin Megastore came.
Oh,
I say,
yeah.
yo,
Yeah, version.
we got a version. It's 2 stories.
Yeah.
And you can listen to
Like
the album.
50 listening stations. You don't even know. Neither one of y'all know what a listening station is, do you? Y'all, these kids.
Come
Boy,
on,
them
man.
listening stations is
It was
crazy.
guys
My
like, yo, we
listening
got that
station is my
Virgin Mega
telephone.
store. What you know about the party line? You don't know
Manny
about
shirt.
the
Manny,
party line.
I love
Manny,
Manny's shirt so
Manny,
much.
first of all, you have to stop making those weird faces when you're at the mic, Manny. Manny, I'm gonna let you talk, but Jesse's still in control. You can cut that mic quick. Don't make it weird. Okay, go ahead.
Come a little
You're
closer
asking-
to the mic.
you're
You
asking
got to
Manny
talk
not
into the
make it
mic.
weird?
Come a little closer to the
We
mic.
live, right?
We're
Yes.
live.
Okay, cut the mic.
No,
No, sir.
no, we're not doing that.
The Kings are
No.
not
No.
while the
That's
Kings
kind
are
of
playing.
fire.
You got to risk the business.
KC has single-handedly destroyed the Kings'
I don't
opportunity
want those problems.
at the 6th spot. So
Okay.
now we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait.
At the very least until they get in the playoffs.
No, we'll
Maybe
wait.
next year next week during the series. Yeah, maybe. But
Maybe.
not today.
What's wrong with that? That's fire.
No,
No,
it is
that's fire.
No,
No,
we
the
can't
logo's
play.
fire, but we're not playing.
because they said they were losing when I started winning.
Yeah.
And we haven't
All right.
played all week and we see what's going on. So we're not playing
Yeah,
today.
we're not doing
I'll
that.
leave it alone.
Not doing
You
that.
got anything else on
Oh,
your mind,
this-
Manny? I probably shouldn't ask that. Yeah.
He's got nothing like he's stressed out about the Bulls.
Is that the praying Bonte?
Yes, bro.
Oh, you
Yes.
gotta. The camera's
Yes.
gotta see it. Come up
Come
up
on,
here.
Yeah, come up here.
I got one of
That
them. I got
shirt's
one of the
incredible.
Happy Bonte shirts.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
The
I got a
Beam
Happy
and
Bonte
Bonte.
shirt. Yeah.
What did Manny get
it-
lost? God.
Here,
Manny.
Manny. Step right in front.
Yeah,
of
step
stand
right
right in front of
in
you,
front of the camera.
Step right in front. Get right in front of the camera.
Right in
they
front
can-
of no.
In front of the
So they
camera,
can see.
dog.
So the people can
There
see.
it is.
Yes.
Someone.
Yes.
Yeah. He put it on a shirt.
So-
He put it on a shirt.
Someone screenshot that and tag Bonte so he could see it.
Hey, the Bulls winning tonight, Manny?
Dr. David, get on it.
Dr.
Kobe White
David's on the
balling.
road.
Kobe White balling. He balling. Yeah.
Dr. David, it is 2:57.
Manny is hilarious.
Man,
He
he's
is
a
hilarious,
That is
bro.
funny.
He
Praying
is
Bonte.
hilarious.
That's some solid work from
I don't even know how he got that. When was Bonte praying?
well, that was no, that
That was
was
at the NFC title game.
that was at the 49ers game. Dr. David. Dr.
Oh.
David took the picture of him from the game. He said his wife took it.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that. Yeah.
He said his wife took it. So Dr. David took him praying and put it in front of the beam. And now we've got praying Bonte and happy Bonte in front of the beam. I forgot
That's
about praying Bonte.
I will never. So there's a football player in the NFL. I swear to God, this is not a joke. His name is Anthony Ferguson. He's a real player,
Uh-huh.
and he played for the Titans a while back. And now I think he plays for the Lions now. But there, in that picture of Bonte praying, there's a woman like 2 rows in front of him in an Anthony Ferguson Titans jersey, and that's why I'll remember that picture forever.
His family don't even have Anthony Ferguson Titans.
Yeah, it was wild.
Hey,
Anyway,
Former Titans Wire.
that's right. I
Writer.
remember
dude,
that.
if you have questions about the 2017 Titans, let me know. I got takes. I was first on the Marcus Mariota stink strain. By
Oh
the way.
man, damn,
That dude sucks.
damn. Marcus Mariota,
I had to
go
watch
watch
so
him
much
on
Marcus
Netflix.
Mariota
On the
football.
quarterback club.
Oh my God, he threw 4 touchdowns in that first game against Jameis. Everybody like, oh my God, he stinks.
Oh,
His
man.
playoff win in Kansas City, fraudulent.
Oh,
Jonathan Cyprien comes over, hits Travis Kelce early, knocks him out with a concussion. Marcus Mariota throws a pass that's going to get intercepted, and I think it was Marcus Peters, knocks it down. Mariota catches it and falls into the end zone to throw a touchdown
do
pass to
remember that.
himself,
I do
and that's
remember
why they
that
won
one.
that game.
Yeah.
They had no answer for Travis Kelce.
I do remember that one.
Shout out Taylor Swift.
I listened to that today, by the way.
The whole thing? All
Well,
31
no,
tracks?
because I don't
31
have
tracks!
I don't have enough time to listen to it. I legit
That's-
woke up
that's
and
too
listened
much.
to it for like an hour.
It's good, right?
It was a 50-minute drive to Sky River Casino, and I still didn't finish the
That's
album.
ridiculous. That's too much, man. I hate when people do that. I hate
Heather
when
and I-
artists do that.
Heather and I last night, right about the time it dropped, about 9:15. We're like, oh, it's out. We're gonna sit here tonight. We're gonna have something to eat, and we're gonna. We got high, and
Oh my gosh.
Kyle's a pothead. Like, it is
I'm
what
not.
it is. Like,
I'm not.
he is.
No,
An
but-
edible pothead, but nonetheless.
Yeah. So we were like, hey, we're gonna listen to this album. So we listened to it all the way through. We're like, wow, amazing. Can't wait to re-rack it and listen again. About the time we go upstairs, this psychopath Taylor Swift puts out like, hey, here's another 16 songs
Yeah.
at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
I went to bed.
That's
Look,
pretty
Listen to the
cool.
rest this morning.
It ain't nothing against Taylor. I hate when Chris Brown does it. I don't.
It's so
if
many.
you got a project, I don't need 40 songs.
So the funny thing about the album though is, and I don't mean this like in a disparaging way, the album's very, very good.
Yeah.
They sound the same. Like, what's it called? The Tortured Poets
Department.
That's what it is.
No, well, that's
She does not deviate from that.
so
There is not like a cute little pop song. Like
Even-
they
What's my
all
name
they're,
again?
they're like, oh God, this woman, like
But-
she had something to get off her soul.
even I Can Do It With a Broken Heart is a bop. Like it is a da-da-da-da-da-da type of pop song, and it is about how much she hates her life and how awful everything is, and she's going insane and da-da-da. It was nuts.
Damn, Taylor.
It's a tough listen.
I kind of like Taylor.
The Alchemy
That-
is about
that-
Travis Kelce. If you want to check
that's
it
the
out.
first time. That's the first time I've ever listened to like a Taylor Swift album.
Mhm.
Like one, that's the most Taylor Swift I've ever listened to.
Sure.
But it's definitely the first time I've ever listened to it. Like the day the album came out.
Yeah.
Like it's dope. It sounds like early weekend stuff. Like it's
Yes.
really, it's dark.
It's
like
dense.
it's really it's really dark and dense.
And
But
it's not. That's why I tell people like it's not for me. I'm 33 years old and married. Like it's this like. But I get.
What's
if
my
you're
name
an-
again?
But if you're like a person who's like going through stuff, or you got like some angst inside you, I can imagine where that music just really hits. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
yeah, I thought it was really good.
It was-
I just
I
don't
ain't gonna
know.
lie to y'all. I ain't gonna listen to Taylor Swift.
That's
But
fine.
I respect
I
respect her legacy. What she's
Yeah.
obviously I'm on the outside, like I'm in the minority because she's got people that relate to her on an unbelievably another
Yeah, right.
different level.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
I
respect
don't know
that.
about relating to her. I just like, oh, it's got a cool sound to it.
She has this one song called "I Hate It Here." It's on the second half of the album,
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
and it's about how she like real life sucks so bad that she spends so much time in her imagination.
It's an
Bro.
amazing, the way she wrote the
Bro.
record is pretty amazing. Yeah.
I felt that one.
Yeah, it's an
felt that
amazing
one.
record. Yeah. So she writes her records, right?
Yeah.
She's an amazing
Yeah.
songwriter.
Yes.
Above all else, she's an amazing songwriter.
I got two things for you real quick.
Yep.
You guys want let's go the other way because
Multiple choice.
the one of them is gonna
We
go
get
into
Kyle
the
another
keys.
beer.
Yeah, Kyle need another beer. Hey, Kyle need another beer.
Well, it's the
Dark
3
vanilla,
o'clock
please.
hour. We should probably start drinking at
Let's
this
get another
point.
beer. Well, I got to go to a baseball game. So
Oh,
I don't
that's
want
right.
to be going to
Did Randy Marsh in
Morse
that episode
Park.
of South Park?
Like, hey, let's go.
I thought this was America.
Real quick NBA note that I remember seeing from yesterday. You might have read up on this. Did you see that the NBA's exclusive time frame with
Yeah.
the TV rights, they're going to let it pass?
Yeah.
And
Without a
gonna
deal.
They're going to be free agents for everybody.
So-
I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought they were.
Like their national TV.
Yeah. I thought we
The
were.
exclusive window is they had an exclusive window to
Right, right.
negotiate with ESPN, TNT, all those companies.
'cause
The
didn't we-
window's going to end without a new deal.
Didn't we talk
Apple is
about
to
a
pay
month
them
ago?
so much money.
Well, didn't we talk about a month ago where we read the story where we're like, yeah, they can negotiate, and it looks like they're just going to re-sign the same
Yeah.
deal. And
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in that.
So,
time.
well, what I think, like reading a little bit about it, what I think happened is those companies, those broadcast companies, didn't want to basically bid against themselves. Like they already have the rights to like these in-season tournament games, and
right.
now the in-season tournament is going to be packaged as something different. And it's like,
Right.
wait, we already have the rights to it, so they're reluctant to go out there and bid against themselves for something that they already have.
yeah,
Mm.
So I think it might be in terms of like the partner portion of it, it might be, yeah, you're gonna have to show me what the demand for this is. So I'm sure there's a thought
so
of
to your point, like the NBA said, we're looking for this, and the TV network was like, why would we give you that? We already got it. And now what you're saying is the NBA's got to go out and show like, no, Apple is offering us this. So
Yeah.
if you want to keep it, like,
and
this
they
is what we're
probably need to see it. They probably need to see that Apple offered, $4 billion, $5 billion, whatever it
Netflix
is for
is ready.
the
They want
rights.
to test the
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
Netflix is ready. I wonder what that looks like too, because I was trying to think of like, are we going to live in a world where there's NBA national TV every 7 days a week? Like somebody gets a Monday night game, TNT got Tuesday, ESPN Wednesday, Prime Thursday, Apple Friday night game. Like, I think that'd be dope. I love that. But
this isn't football, so it's certainly possible. But before we dive further into that, let's give people an opportunity to win $500 gift card.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Head over to ESPN1320.com right now. Even if you're here in the building, go to ESPN1320.com right now and enter the keyword rebound. Enter the keyword rebound over at ESPN1320.com right now. Click on the Nothing But Net giveaway, and that will give you an opportunity to win a $500 gift card. So again, go to ESPN1320.com and enter the keyword rebound.
Yeah.
Great producing by our man, Jesse. Give it up for Jesse, y'all, one time real quick.
Jesse in the house. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you don't want to bastardize this thing, though,
That's
right?
what I was thinking. And so, like, when thinking about that, I was like, well, what happens to League Pass? Like, if there's a game on, I know you might want to, if you're out of town.
Yeah.
If I live in LA, I might want to watch the Kings, so I'd get it for that. But, like, if I'm here in Sacramento and I'm a Kings fan and there's basketball, there's a doubleheader every night.
See, but League Pass isn't designed for people who just like basketball, right? It's designed for like basketball junkies and then the people who like are out of market of their favorite team.
Right.
People who just want to watch basketball can get by with the 4 nights a week that it's on or whatever it is on NBA TV and so
That's
on.
how, like I said, that's how like Ace is, right? Like Ace, he'll watch every game that's on national TV, but he ain't getting League Pass. Like it ain't that big of a deal. Give me every game every week and League Pass.
Right.
And I need the alternate cast.
Yeah, and fix the multi-screen so I can watch the national games with the local games and let me build this the way that I want to. Yeah, like it's I don't think having a game on every night would affect League Pass. I think having a game on every night affects the games, like the Thursday night game being special. It affects the Tuesday night game being special or whatever, or Friday night game or whatever the game is.
We're almost already there, though.
Yeah, we're pretty freaking close.
Like they got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at a certain point, and Sunday at a certain point.
Yeah.
So Monday, obviously, like Monday's the one.
And maybe that's what you do. But maybe that's also the thing. Maybe you don't get a Monday game because you don't want to compete during the football season. The Sunday afternoon games don't kick in until after the football season is over.
Right.
Saturday, you've got college football you got to compete with. So I think there's always a level of let's be mindful because I don't think there's any, let's respect the NFL. The NFL doesn't give a damn about the NBA, and I wouldn't think the NBA should give a damn about the NFL. But you want to respect your television partners.
Yeah.
Because anywhere from 10 to 30 million people are going to tune into the Monday Night Football game.
Yeah. I was just surprised to see that, though, that
so was I.
They opened it. So the funny thing was I was double surprised because when the first story came out, I was surprised, like, oh man, they really not going to open this up to bidding? So, but I was like, that's what it was. And I thought that's what it was. And then to see that, like, oh man, they really didn't lock it in. And now it is open up to bidding. I was surprised to see that as well. I think this is, I like ESPN and TNT. I think they do a great job. I am anxious to see what they can do with streaming, with a Prime, with a Netflix. I'm with everybody else that's a 90s baby. A game on NBC every now and then would be very nostalgic, very cool. So I don't know how that works. Like you said, you don't want.
Well, I wonder if it would be a game on NBC or a game on Peacock.
Definitely, probably on Peacock.
Yeah, like because I mean, you could obviously you could obviously do both, but like there's such an initiative now to get people to sign up for these services. If you don't put it on
NBC, but you put it on the Peacock app. What does that do for, for the Peacock app? I don't know. There's so many different things at play, but Adam Silver has put so much into, because he spent the last year talking about what this media rights deal is going to look like.
Yeah.
You probably got some players who've already started to count their money for when this new TV rights deal comes into play.
Some owners who have started to count.
Yo, for
owners
real.
Are counting that and expansion.
That's the thing, right? Now the Adam has been clear that once this is done, we'll start looking at expansion. We know they're already looking at expansion. They're just trying to, cross one T at a time.
Yeah. The other thing I think about tonight, and I'll talk about my other point on the other side, is tonight, Kings, Pelicans. Kings snuck in some more national TV games this year. You know what I mean? Because that Pelicans one was added. The Knicks game was added.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about these 2 playing games.
Yeah.
Snuck in some more. So I think they probably ended up with what about 15 games this year?
Well, not counting the NBA games.
Oh,
the NBA
TV.
Because wasn't that 20 something?
Yeah, I think it was 22.
So
NBA TV.
They lost one.
Yeah.
Added 2.
And
then these 2 playing games. So yeah, they were pushing
up to 30.
Yeah, they were pretty close to 30. Yeah, pretty close to 30. But you mentioned it. The Kings and the Pelicans will step out. We'll come back. Our final preview.
Oh yeah.
We'll take you commercial free to the top of the hour.
I'm back.
Kyle's back. Yeah, I was wondering. I just didn't know what was.
You had to go get a beer.
Oh,
that's not true.
Oh, yeah. I thought you walked in with a beer. I don't know. Either way, we'll come back. Our final thoughts on the Sacramento Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans when D'Lo and Casey return here live from Sky River Casino, 32 Brew Street on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320.
What up, big dog? Oh, that's you, Dane. Everybody.
Oh, right on, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Did you guys see that? This might have been what you were talking about. Forgive me. That the Magic's game on Saturday will be Paolo Banchero's first time on ESPN ever.
Really?
As a member of the Magic. Yeah.
Wow. Bryce, what up, baby?
So did I. That's crazy.
We got the NBA game, Jesse.
Because I shut your stream down, and I was panicking in the other room. Joe set up everything blank.
Oh, right on, Joe.
Got everything rolling. Hell yeah. Oh my God. Michael Porter's other brother's in jail now?
That family, they have. I think they say he got 8 years.
6. Bye.
Okay.
What's up, Chatty Gang? Oh, yeah.
Who sings that song? I keep saying, what's my name again?
What's my age again? That's Blink 182.
I thought it was what's my name again.
Took her around on a drive home. I called her mom on the payphone. It's one of my It's one of my karaoke songs.
There he is.
Later on, where are you?
Yeah, he's a character. Oh. That's funny.
I'll hang out until like 5.
Well, no, I was gonna. Yeah, no, you don't have to do that.
I'll tell you what, you guys are just lucky I made it back here and didn't land in the humidor.
Oh, for real.
That door's open right now. Woo!
Okay.
Is that Harold Reynolds?
Who?
Starting to look old. Is that Harold Reynolds?
Yes. JT still here?
No, he was here early. Hey Jesse, did you see the face off with Garcia and Haney? These dudes, man. I said, come on, man. And that was wrong, but it was hilarious. The boxing, he's like, starts the press conference and like, hey, I just want to thank you, God. I want to say a prayer. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. And like 20 minutes later, he's like, why did you put my dick in your mouth? It's like, what?
All right, home stretch here as we get ready for the Sacramento Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans.
Let's go, baby. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready
New
for Kings
Orleans.
Pelicans? Let's go, man. Let's go, man.
Man, shout out to everybody who came through 32 Brew Street today. Always overwhelming to see the people who come out just to watch us sit up here and talk. We really appreciate it. We know the food here at 32 is amazing. We know that the brews here at 32 Brew Street are amazing. Shout out to our man Joe in the studio handling business. Of course, our super producer Jesse for taking care of everything, and our man Jonathan who gets this all set up for us and allow us to do this. Thank you to Sky River Casino. I say this every time. It will never, ever, 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 ever get old pulling into Sky River and seeing that D-Lo and Casey logo on that giant billboard out there on the highway.
Absolutely, man. It's always a surreal moment to see that, man. And got love for Sky River forever, man, for what they did, man.
Yeah.
And also, I know me personally, unfortunately, I got a bunch of running around to do this evening, but this is the place to watch this game. This is going to be booming tonight. I was talking to Carrie earlier, and she said it was lit on Tuesday for Warriors Kings. So if you're riding around, if you're trying to watch the game somewhere, you're unsure of where you want to go, 32 Brews here at Sky River Casino is the place tonight to watch this game.
There's a screen right here that's going to come down. Those 4 TVs are going to turn into one giant TV. Yeah, it's going to be popping in here in just a couple of hours as we're looking up at the TV right now. My man Kevin Nagandi talking about the Sacramento Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans tonight. We've been over this a million times. Let's go over it again. They've got to slow down CJ on offense.
That's it.
CJ's shooting 70% from 70-something% from the three-point line.
Of course, you've got the ability that Brandon Ingram has to create. You have guys who have gotten loose, whether it's Trey Murphy, there's a number of guys who have gotten loose against Sacramento. And I think, and I feel like I waffled on this a little bit, I think it starts on the defensive end for Sacramento, but I'm not of the belief that it's like defense is going to carry them to a win. They've got to shoot a high clip on the three-point side, or they got to shoot a high clip, from behind the three-point line. And guess kind of see how things shake out after that.
We talked about it earlier, but it's going to be one of those games where everybody's got to play good to great. They kind of got away from it. Not away from it, but got away with it on Tuesday, where there were such games there. I was of the belief that if the Kings were going to win without Malik Monk, any of these games, everybody would have to be on their game.
Yeah.
They played great as a team on Tuesday, but Davion only gave you 5 points.
Sure.
Trey Lyles only gave you 7.
Sure.
Alex Len didn't give you much. So, the bench was a little non-existent when you talk about scoring points. I don't think you can have that same production tonight from the bench and win this game. I think everybody's got to be on point. Everybody's got to play I don't want to say the best game of the year, but one of the best games of the year as a unit.
I agree with you insofar as you expect the starters to not play as well as they did. So you're going to need the bench to make up for that a little bit. But I think that was the formula for the most part.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything crazy offensively. They're outside
Against
Golden
Golden State. Yeah.
The only thing that happened that I think was unsustainable was what they shoot from three.
46.
40, like that.
I think it was 46%.
You can't count on that again. But you can win the possession battle the same way. They took 12, 13 more shots than Golden State when the game mattered. You can win the possession battle the exact same way.
Yeah.
And that's the key for me. They know what works defensively. They know what works offensively. I don't think that was the case early in the year. I think early in the year, they were still figuring out wrinkles to what they were doing offensively. They were not buying in defensively or playing a rotation that did not give them the skill sets needed on the defensive end to be successful with Mike Brown wants to do. Enter Keon Ellis. Well, now that happens. And now everything gets a little bit easier on the offensive end.
Yeah.
And that's why I think what they did Tuesday is sustainable. Maybe they don't score as many points, but if you told me they held the Pelicans to 90, 95 points, that's a W to me, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Absolutely.
that's the other part to this is we focus on the amount of points that the Kings have lost by in these games to the Pelicans, but just look at the amount of points the Pelicans have scored. It's been like
Exactly.
130, 133. It's been in that. You're talking about holding them to almost 40 less points. Yeah, I'd feel pretty good about that for Sacramento too. I'd feel really good about that.
But we talked about this a little bit earlier. They went 22 of 40 from three in that game a week ago yesterday.
Right.
They go 18 of 40. That's a tie game now. And 18 of 40 is still a crazy number.
You shot crazy if you get 18.
You shot almost 50% at 18 of 40. So that's why this version of the Kings, I think, is not the Pelicans are not nearly the matchup nightmare for this version of the Kings that they were the first 4 times they played them from November through January. I just don't.
I keep going back. What you said is spot on. I keep going back to with no Zion, the Pelicans are still a good team. They've played the Kings and beat down the Kings with no Zion. We understand that. But it just makes everything a little bit more traditional when you talk about matchups. You don't have to do anything crazy like, let's put Sabonis on Zion and Harrison guard Valanciunas because like you ain't got to do all that.
Yeah.
You match up how you match up.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, Dame, you make CJ the central focus. You make sure you take him out of the game as much as possible. Been saying it. Defend him like you did Steph Curry. You know, you looked at Steph Curry as the head of the snake, and if somebody else beats us, we'll tip our hat, but it can't be Steph Curry getting 50 again or something like that. That's the way you've got to approach CJ McCollum tonight. And I think if you have that type of mentality, if you keep him working not only on the offensive side, but on the defensive side as well, I think that's the recipe for slowing down this Pelicans offense. We just talked about, getting them to 95 points or something like that. I think very concerted defensive game plan on CJ McCollum is the ticket to slowing down this offense with no Zion.
I agree. If you told me CJ McCollum went for like 20 tonight,
Kings win.
That's a W. Bro. That's probably a W going away. Just because the other, can Herb Jones go for 20? Sure. Can Trey Murphy light it up for 30? 100%. That can totally happen. But I don't think the Pelicans want to bank on that. And if you're stopping CJ McCollum, I feel way better about your chances to get stops down the stretch.
That's one thing we haven't really talked about with this is we've kind of harped on. I've brought it up repeatedly, the bench and what they need to do in this game. But De'Aaron has probably heard a lot about how Herb Jones can guard him and how Herb Jones can stop him. Part of me wonders how much of De'Aaron is like, yeah, I hear that. Okay. Oh, got y'all all defensive Herb Jones right here. All right. I see you. I once told y'all I could get any shot I want to. I'm going to remind y'all today. I can get any shot I want to.
Yeah.
And De'Aaron Fox, history has shown us in the biggest moments, he's a big-time player. I mean, he hasn't had a gang of opportunities, but think back to his basketball life, at least since we've been knowing it. Biggest college game of his career was the one against Lonzo. The man has 39.
Yeah.
He shows that he's not even like that type of scorer in college. But the two games that I remember was the big game against North Carolina earlier in Vegas when Malik Monk had 39 or something like that against UNC. He had like 24 and 12, De'Aaron did. Then the Lonzo game, he does what he does. Then he doesn't play a meaningful game for another 7 years.
Right.
And the second he gets another meaningful national TV, all eyes on me game, he puts up the second most points in a playoff debut in NBA history. And he averages 33 or 32 or something for the series. He's a primetime player. I remember talking to his mom after that game one, and she said, I knew him and Malik were going to do this. This is what they do. This is what they do. Coach Cal was saying the same thing. This is what they do. Sometimes it's frustrating for some people because in a January against Washington, why don't you put up 40? But this is what they do. When the lights are bright, De'Aaron Fox shows up. And I think, to your point, what you said about hearing all that stuff about Herb, he's going to be ready to show up tonight and go to work.
Well, not just hearing all that stuff. He was 1 of 10 in one of the games this year against the Pelicans. It wasn't the last one, but it was like, again, those 5 games mean nothing except in the film room. Yeah, that game was shown in the film room.
Yep.
Absolutely was.
Definitely.
And now De'Aaron has an opportunity to respond to that when it matters the most. Because, again, those 5 games don't matter.
I would be shocked if we walk out of tonight. Kings win or lose, I don't know. I'd be pretty surprised if we walked out of tonight's game thinking anything other than like, well, De'Aaron was the best player on the court. Again, maybe he is, and maybe Keegan shrinks a little bit, and Valanciunas plays Sabonis to a neutral, and McCollum goes off, and Trey Murphy goes off, and the Kings lose. That's on the table. But I think De'Aaron's going to be the best player on the court no matter what.
Okay.
I like that. I'm in agreement with that. I see you. Yeah.
Were you confident heading into Tuesday's game in the Kings?
In the Kings?
Yeah.
God, no. No. Oh, my God. No, no. And tonight, I think they're going to win based on vibes, but mostly because it has a lot to do with where New Orleans is.
So that kind of goes into my point. Like, based on vibes, Tuesday was like 3 days ago. And we're using one game. Man, everything feels.
2 games. They were really good against Portland.
They were really good against Portland. That's a shoot. They were really good against Portland.
No. But Tuesday specifically. Here, let me tell you what. Tuesday specifically, I watched Kings. I watched the most, and then the Warriors are the team I watched the second most. And going into that, I'm like, I know that Golden State is perfectly capable of losing this game, and I know the Kings are perfectly capable of playing well enough to beat Golden State. And I didn't have a feel because vice versa. And then they go out and they dominate the Warriors the way they did. And the reason that game means so much is because not only did they exercise the Warriors demon, but they took on the biggest stage. They collectively, as a team, save for the bench, as you pointed out, but collectively, top to bottom, they played one of the 2 or 3 best games they played all year.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay, they did it. They took everything, all the good things that they've done throughout the year that have been here and there, and then there's ups and downs, and then took all the peaks from throughout the year, and they put them together into blowing out Golden State. And that, to me, was a step forward that meant more than just like, okay, they won a game 3 days ago. And on the other hand, you have New Orleans, who was getting blown out by the Lakers again, by the way, for the second time in 2 days. And then Zion goes off. They can't guard him. There's nothing they can do to stop Zion. Zion's going to carry him to a win. Here come the Pelicans. Oh, Zion's out. And now the Pelicans are going, oh, that guy who carried us and was going to carry us to the next round is out now.
Right.
So, and I think I heard what you were saying earlier, all due respect to Willie Green and what they're doing in New Orleans. I think that's a really tough mental hurdle to clear.
Oh, I agree.
They got some things they got to work through.
Yeah, I agree.
To pull this out.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's why the vibes matter, despite the fact it was 3 days ago.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's put this game into question in terms of the Pelicans for me. But these guys are also professionals, right?
No doubt.
They've had to deal with Zion being in and out of the lineup. They've had to deal with Brandon Ingram being in and out.
I was going to say, to that point, do you think it helps New Orleans that it was immediate Zion's out, as opposed to game time decision? We don't know if Zion's going to be
I don't think
here.
it helps, but I do think that was strategic. I do think that was there was no he's out. Like, it is clear he's out.
So you guys,
you're playing without him.
You got 3 days to wrap your head around that and figure out, all right, this is what we got going in.
Yeah, and also, not only are you playing without him, should you survive Sacramento, you're playing without him. Think about that now.
Yeah.
Focus on that now. Like, I think that was very strategic.
I agree.
They knew.
I love Sacramento because there are people flying to New Orleans
Wild.
for this play-in game.
Yeah.
Do you know how much pain that flight is?
I talked to Lania earlier today. I'm there. She sent the video. Her and her husband, they're going to be there. They're going to be behind the Kings bench. But when I saw her on Tuesday, she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going. Talked to a couple other people. I was talking to the Sacramento Kings. They're like, yeah, I think we might need to make that move.
Man.
Like, this is the plan. This isn't Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
This isn't the NBA
This is
Finals.
to get
This is
into the
plan.
playoffs.
And we are locked in as a collective. And I love that about that. There's nothing. Some people, Lakers fan, oh, that's how you're treating it, a play-in. Wow, I can't believe it. Yeah, that's how we treating it. Yeah, that's what we do. We hype.
You just played in a play-in. Shut up. What you talking about? Like, you just played in one.
That's how we doing it out here. I like that.
You and your fellow Laker fans, man.
Whoa. It's a second disrespectful.
Oh, no.
Do I need to do what I need to do? Do I need to do what I need to do?
Don't rip. This man don't do that.
Do I need to do what I need to do?
So hard
Don't
on
do
that. Don't.
Nope.
That's a waste of a tree.
Do I need to do what I need to do, Zay?
A tree gave its life for that.
No, you better leave that sign alone. If you rip that sign up, I swear to God, it'll be hanging in the studio for eternity.
Disrespectful.
But you're right. Kings fans are all in.
Facts.
Did I see what? The Super
Stephen
Bowl is
A.
on?
Oh, God, I wish. I got so many things to talk about. No, Stephen A. Smith believes that the Knicks are the Boston Celtics' biggest obstacle in the East.
Well,
that's
stunning.
Stunning.
A shocker.
Well, that doesn't make
on the
him
mothership.
wrong.
No, he is wrong.
He's definitely wrong.
The Knicks?
On the East. It's the Knicks.
I don't think it's the Knicks.
It might be. It's not the Bucks.
It's not.
I don't think it's the Knicks.
If Giannis and Dame were healthy, I would say the Bucks, but they're not.
Even if
We're
Giannis
completely
and Dame,
out
they
on
stink,
Philadelphia?
bro.
Yes.
Out on Philly.
Yeah.
They needed a Jimmy Butler injury to get past the Heat.
And they needed Batum.
and Nick Batum to have the game of his life.
Man, what Nick Batum do to you guys? I might go 76ers over Knicks just based on this conversation alone.
Wow.
It's six.
I respect your
6 game
commitment to
series
hating.
max. The Knicks about to go to work on that.
6 game series.
So look, while we're here,
I'm wondering how the Celtics loss to the Hawks earlier this year is going to affect him in that first round series.
Well, it did eliminate
Jalen
Jason
Brunson.
Tatum.
Yeah, Jason Tatum. That's
It
what
did
it is,
eliminate him as being an MVP candidate.
Yep.
So.
Can
No,
those
that
guys
was wrong
dribble
with
in crunch time? We'll see.
While we're here, because I know we want to finish with the Kings, but just real quick, playoff start. I think I reversed course on Mavs Clippers because of the Kawhi news.
Yeah. Well, wait. What's the Kawhi news?
They think he's going
Right.
to be
The
ready.
Kawhi
I'm
news
not
is
sure.
no news. Like
That's
we
what I'm
have no
saying.
idea what's going
Second team
on.
All-NBA?
Before they were like, I'm expecting him to be there. I
That's
was like,
so.
yeah, cool.
It's so crazy.
So I'm reversing course, man. I think the Mavericks are going to win that series.
The Kawhi stuff is so nuts. They have no clue what's going on with him,
You know what's crazy though about that?
or at least we don't have a clue what's going on.
You know what's crazy is the Clippers did have their most success with Kawhi out, historically playoff wise. He left after they tied the series at 2 against Utah.
Stop.
They ended up winning that one. Got to the Western Conference Finals, took the Suns to 6.
I'm not buying it.
And you know who led them there? Show some respect.
The Michael Jordan and Tobias Harris's?
Show some respect. So
Yeah, I
think the
don't
Mavs
have
are
a
gonna win
pick in that series. I don't know yet.
I think the Mavs are going to win that one. I got the
That might be the best series of the first round.
West is popping.
And
Yeah.
the Mavs,
The West is popping because I hate to say it, I got Phoenix beating Minnesota.
Okay. I don't
And you know,
hate that. I'd be
Ant-Man-
a little surprised.
You
I
know,
don't hate that.
Ant-Man, that's my guy. And I hate the Suns, but
Yeah.
I think Phoenix going. I said for a while, I think they're built for the playoffs.
I agree getting the Ant breakout, like the breakout. Like the Ant,
yeah,
the Ant
I
takes over.
like what we saw from De'Aaron last year,
Yes.
what we saw from
Yes.
Ja the year before.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's possible.
Yeah.
I think I'd sign up for that before I signed up for Phoenix.
Lakers about to get worked.
It's the Nuggets and the Celtics, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Well, calm down a little bit. Nuggets are probably the favorite. I don't think they're unbeatable.
Who's beating them?
Phoenix can beat them. They have.
Can Dallas beat them?
They can. I wouldn't pick Dallas. They can. though.
Dallas will get him in the second round, right?
Yeah. No. It'd be Phoenix.
No.
Dallas is.
Oh, that's right. Dallas is a 5.
Dallas
I
is
think
playing.
Dallas is going to
Dallas
conference
is,
finals.
well, hold on. Dallas is playing the Kings in the second round.
I see you. I
As I
see
said,
you.
I think
Playing
Dallas
the
is going to
Kings
the
in the
conference
second
finals.
I see you. Oh, could you imagine the heartbreak of the national media if the Kings beat the Thunder in the first round?
Oh man.
Their beloved
need all of that.
SGA and their beloved Oklahoma City Thunder.
Hey, do you know what the worst
It'd
part
It'd be
that.
is? You
sick.
know what the worst part is? Oh, we heard about is they have 82 first-round picks in the next 3 drafts.
Don't worry. This is just the beginning. Whereas last year the Kings, I don't know if they can sustain
It's
it.
done.
They were
The
too
13
healthy.
seed.
So yeah, there's that. On the East, I actually think the Pacers are going to beat the Bucks.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
I hate to say that.
I'm out on
Yeah,
the Bucks, dude. I'm
the
out on the
Bucks are
Bucks.
not good.
So I got
Vibes
that
are
one.
so bad.
Bad.
I think Orlando's going to beat Cleveland.
Cleveland's a bit of a mess, so I don't hate that thought either. Cleveland is an absolute mess. Part of me wonders if they can pull it together like in this moment, but man,
Is Evan Mobley
that's
bad?
a tough team to pick. No.
Not bad.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Is Evan Mobley not going to be the player we thought he was?
He's going to be the player I thought he was. Everybody else, I don't know.
I have an Evan Mobley jersey, dog.
What are you doing? That?
I'm so worried. I'm so concerned.
Wait, do you really?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Why?
Because my buddy and I every year for Christmas get
That's
each other
right.
something.
I knew this
Sports
story.
related.
Go ahead.
Got you.
And we were watching a Cavs game together when I was visiting him, and Evan Mobley just dominated. And I was like, "This is my this is my favorite player in the league. I love this guy. Wow."
Evan
And so he
Mobley.
got me an Evan Mobley jersey.
I'll-
It's sick. It's the alternate with the old Cavs logo.
Oh yeah.
Fire. A little small. It's fine.
I always thought Evan Mobley was a little overrated by people. I thought he was a really good ball player. I think he is a really good ball player, but I didn't think he's franchise.
Yeah.
And he's not a number 1 or number 2, I don't
Yeah.
think. and that's okay.
He was hurt for a chunk of this year, wasn't he?
He was, and that's okay. Like, he's a good ball player. I'd love to have him on the Kings. I think he's a high caliber ball player, but I never thought he was going to be what everybody tried to say he was going to be.
Would you rather have him or Jared Allen?
I really like Jared.
I do really like Jared.
I like
Allen.
both of those guys.
I'm gonna go. That's tough, man. That's tough because I like Evan.
I'd go Evan Mobley.
I like Evan Mobley's game more.
Me too.
But Jared Allen is just super solid. He's a little taller. He knows his role.
Yeah.
I'll say Evan Mobley just because I like his game a little bit more, but that's tough. It's tough. So
I'm not Will Z, man, but it feels like the rebounding, the boards, the numbers on the boards could be a swing stat for tonight.
absolutely.
I think Will said second chance points yesterday. I can't
I feel
remember.
like those go hand in hand a little bit.
Yeah, so that's like when you go back and you look at the numbers, they were dominated in second chance points.
Yeah.
To your point, they were dominated on the boards. If they could flip that single stat.
Well, and the play of the game for the Warriors, for me, or against the Warriors, was the end of the first quarter. Davion misses a little push shot, gets his own offensive rebound, kick out Keegan for three, miss. Alex Lend offensive rebound, miss. Davion offensive rebound, Keegan bucket, 9 points at the half instead of 6 or 4 or 3.
Yeah.
That to me was a key, and I think that's exactly what you're talking about. Is if that's winning the possession battle, and that's creating second chance points where, hey, now instead of giving up possession, not only are we taking time off the clock, getting offensive boards, and we're getting 3 points out of it.
Yeah. And I
Like,
think they're
that's
capable of
huge.
dominating the offensive boards and the boards in general with no Zion out there. I know Valanciunas is
That's it,
big
dude.
time on the boards. Brandon Ingram's pretty good too. All those guys, they're tough. Like they're tough-minded guys. Herb, Trey Murphy, all these guys, they ain't no punks. So they're going to battle on the boards too. But I think the Kings can dominate the board. And I'm looking for, not that he's going to play super minutes, but I'm looking for what Alex Lynn is able to give him in his minutes.
Sure.
I think he can dominate, whether it's Ziller or Larry Nance, whatever way they decide to go in New Orleans. I think Alex Lynn can dominate that matchup and be a problem.
Yeah.
Be a problem.
That's the thing though, is Valanciunas and Sabonis are going to be a net neutral. Maybe Sabonis is +1 or 2.
You think
in
that's
rebounding?
You think that's acceptable for the Kings to win? Like,
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
think,
yeah. No, I
but
think
do
it's
you
fine.
think because so I would think kind of maybe it can't be even. Maybe Sabonis got to outplay him a little bit. What you think?
No, that's what I was talking about on the Insiders Day. Sabonis has to be better for sure.
Okay.
But like, he doesn't need to be like, wow, Sabonis had 25 and 18. I don't think he's getting that against Valanciunas. But if Valanciunas is going to pull down 12, 13 boards, if Giannis or not, if Domas is going to have 14, 15, that's fine. But you need Harrison Barnes on the glass. You need Keegan Murray going and getting 8 or 9. De'Aaron Fox, good rebounder.
Yes.
Go get 6 or 7. That's what's going to matter to me. It can't all come down to Domas.
I agree.
He does so much freaking work. It can't come down to, hey, we need to win a rebounding battle. Go get 27 of them, big guy. That can't be it.
Harrison,
It can't
give me that 4 you gave me the other day. I'll be happy.
Yeah, but while it might not be fair, we looked at him going into Tuesday's game like he was exercising some sort of demon from the past with the Golden State Warriors. Well, you mentioned this a second ago, what a difficult matchup Valanciunas is for him. Go do it again. Yeah,
Well,
go. And it wasn't crazy what he did the other night against the Golden State Warriors, but it was consistent with what Domas does. Go do it again.
I'm done asking him to be like, hey, Malik Monk's out. Go get buckets.
So I got
Keegan
you.
Murray's not hitting. It's got to be him. I'm just out. I'm done.
But the good part about that is when you don't ask him is when he's probably going to go do it, because he's done it. Like he can do that.
Sabonis with 60 shot attempts like Kobe tonight.
The crazy thing
Mama
is,
mentality.
like, if Domas shot 60 times, it means he made like 48 of them.
Bro, that's my problem. It's my problem. Like, bro, you're gonna shoot 65%. Put up 18 of them things.
I hear you.
Frustrating.
I hear you.
I feel
He's
you.
I
really
hear
gonna
you.
be-
But if he don't see those 18 there for him, but he sees 4 for Keegan
Boy, he's gonna
and
get
3
Trey
for
Lyles'
Harrison.
Well,
three-point attempts.
He's going to get Trey Lyles the ball.
I
That's what he does.
I agree with you guys, and I understand. I'm coming around on your thinking.
He'll get a bucket.
But I definitely need – I probably need 20 shot attempts from Keegan tonight.
I'm with you, bro.
I need 20. Put him up. Put him up.
That Warriors game was
the game.
awesome.
Yeah, start the game aggressive like you did the other day.
That was one of my 3 keys to Kings victory on the Insiders 10 to noon on ESPN 1320.
Good show.
Sacktown Sports Leader. What?
How about it? I said what?
Wait, what'd I say?
Say Sacramento next time.
Oh, my bad. I'll just go home. Goodbye, everybody.
No, it's fine. You can finish your point.
Are you sure?
Yes. But it does fit the point that the people who say Sacktown aren't actually from Sacramento. You actually just made our point. We love you for it. You're home now.
I'm wearing a Kings hat today.
No, I understand. No, I see
he
that.
is. He is.
No, he that's
I
true.
really want them to win.
You are home, but the point has always been people from Sacramento don't call Sacramento
It's like San Fran.
Sacktown.
Like San Fran.
Yeah.
They hate Frisco,
All
right?
right, let me try. Frisco's fine.
They hate
San Fran sucks.
There's another one they hate, right?
Some people say they don't like Frisco, but Frisco's fine. Anyways, the Insiders 10 to noon on
ESPN 1320
Sacramento Sports Leader. What?
What was your 3
What?
points?
No,
What was your point?
It's fine.
no, I know it's fine. I know it's fine. You're doing good, Kyle. Give Kyle a round of applause. He's doing
Hey,
a great
Kyle
job.
Madsen, ladies and gentlemen.
This is
One of my keys to victory for the Kings tonight was getting Keegan going early because I think that's a big deal.
Yes.
When he goes and gets 10 shots in the first quarter, it
Loved
gives him that runway to be like, bro, it's you.
Loved it.
It's got to be. If he goes 2 shots in the first quarter, 3 shots in the second quarter, come crunch time, he's like, all right, it's not a me game. Like, that's just that's been the pattern.
Yes.
Go get him 10 shots in the first quarter again, or 8, or however many.
well.
10
What
in
it
the
didn't
first half
feel like
minimum.
it was the Kings going to get him 10 shots. It was Keegan going to get him
Sure,
10 shots.
Sure.
He
Yeah,
looked like this me.
I need it again.
This me.
And-
yeah,
and-
I'm with you.
And he's
I'm
been
with you.
consistent since we kind of talked about that. Since Malik went down, we looked at his shot attempts since that time. It hovers around 16, 18, 19, something like that. And just do what you've been doing in that respect. Keep shooting.
Yeah.
Keep shooting. One last thing I'll say is I'm going to get a little selfish right now.
Please.
I need this win. I need this win. I had a rough February. Okay. The last really big sporting event that I needed to win, it was upsetting. I need this win. Please, Kings. Please. I need this win.
Praying Kenny next to praying Bonte on the next graphic. Kenny
I need
and
a win back.
Bonte on each side of the Golden One Center, praying for a Kings victory.
I need to celebrate something tonight, man. Come on now. We all do.
Selfishly, it would do wonders for this radio program if the Sacramento Kings
Bro.
continued to play basketball.
I need it for the content.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm thinking only of me in this situation. And God bless it. This radio show would be fun if they get to the playoffs for the second straight year, take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team I think they match up really, really well against. I've been reluctant to look too far into that because obviously they got business to attend to tonight. And if they're able to get that done tonight, we won't even talk about the Thunder till after game 1 is played because game 1 is on Sunday.
Yeah.
Kings will go straight from New Orleans to Oklahoma City should they are able to get a victory tonight. Real talk, though. How are y'all feeling? Like, are y'all feeling good about this game?
Light the beam. I see you, Zay.
The vibes are so good.
Yeah, the
Talk
vibes.
to me, man. Light the beam, man. Light the beam.
It's crazy. Like,
Drake Bars game?
well, it doesn't work.
Oh, because
Yeah,
Sunday.
it doesn't work.
no,
Yeah,
my
it
bad,
doesn't
my
work.
bad, my bad.
But it's crazy. Like, real question. Like, vibes are really good right now. Obviously, because the Kings won the playing game. It was a big deal that they won. But how much of it helps that it was the Warriors? Like,
Yeah.
like if they had beaten.
I'm going home.
Oh, Drew Down, you all right over there, bro?
You good, baby?
The like if the Kings had beaten the Rockets, would everybody feel the same?
Like,
But they beat the Warriors. So it feels a little bit different.
It does. There's a little mankind there when you say like they beat the Warriors. You know,
Like a cheap
right
pop.
here in Sacramento, California.
Oh, it's Drew. It's Drew.
With the 4.
Drew.
The 4.
Drew.
I like the beam.
Apparently, Drew is a member of the Four Horsemen. I'm not sure what he's
It's the
doing.
fourth quarter.
You know what's?
There's
You know
only
what's?
4 minutes left.
You know what's great about this, Drew, is that's where it's gonna stay.
Ooh. And he ain't lying.
It won't grow past this.
He ain't lying.
Y'all got 4. Y'all gonna have 4. You'll have 4 forever.
It's over. It's over.
4 championships and 1 Draymond Green. Congratulations, Drew.
Hall of Famer Draymond Green.
Wild.
Put them boys in the dirt.
Absolutely
Hall of Famer.
wild. I believe Draymond would have gotten another gold medal if he hadn't punched Yusuf Nurkic in the face. I'm dead serious.
Ooh.
Like, I think he would have been
Steve
on
would
that
have taken
team.
him with him for sure.
Yeah, he absolutely would have been on that team.
Or if he hadn't punched Jordan Poole in the face.
Well,
Or if he had choked out Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Or curb stomped Domantas
Curb stomped
Sabonis.
Domantas Sabonis in the chest.
Yeah.
Didn't he like rough up Donovan Mitchell too? Remember that one? He tried to rough him up. That's why he got thrown out the first time.
Yeah, he got into a Grant Williams. He kicked Steven
He did
Adams
get
in the
ejected from a
groin.
game 4 minutes into it.
Yeah, he got ejected for. He made Steph Curry.
He
cry.
allegedly made Steph Curry cry. Yeah.
So look,
Well, I'm glad everybody's feeling good.
it's time to finish the story.
Look at that.
It's time to finish the story. Part of the story is what we did on Tuesday, ending that Warriors dynasty. Putting dirt on that one. Now it's time to finish the story. Go down to the Nolia and go handle those Pelicans, and we'll see them Sunday evening in Oklahoma City. Let's get it done. Let's get it done.
I hate when you do that because we still got 2 minutes.
Well, that's what we usually
That
say.
sounded like the end of the show.
Well, that's what we usually say. Thank you to people.
Oh, okay.
That's weirdly pessimistic that the story ends tonight.
Well, that's true. Well, you do have the Mavericks going to the conference finals, beating the Kings in the second round.
Yeah. It's just a new chapter. Story's not ending.
The story's just beginning.
Man, thank
With
you
your
guys.
messed up voice.
I feel like I could do movie trailers with my
With the
voice.
story just beginning.
This summer, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith in Bad Boys 4.
Hey, well, you doing the remember the racist cop joint? You doing that one?
The what?
Remember the movie trailer we watched? The dead guy who came back on the racist cop.
Yes.
Do that trailer.
What was the name of the movie?
I don't remember.
I can't remember the name of the movie. Does anyone remember That wasn't the Denzel movie.
It was Denzel. That's right. It was Denzel.
Was it?
Yeah. Denzel died
And came back as the racist cop?
Yeah. Came back in the soul of a racist cop.
Yeah.
As a black guy.
Yeah, that's a true story.
This isn't a
Oh, yeah,
30 Rock joke.
We had a
Heart condition.
Yeah. We had a whole segment. We watched the trailer on air.
We did. We did. I might not be able to do it in time.
No way this is real.
Well, no, see, I Googled heart condition and
Heart
we only got
condition.
all right.
no
Yeah.
chance, bro.
That's all right.
Hold on.
Hey, when we're recapping
February
game
6th,
1
1990, I
of
wasn't even alive.
Kings Thunder on Monday,
Yeah.
we won't forget this. We'll read it again, baby, because that's what's about to go down. Kings
All
about
right.
to handle business tonight, man. They about
Can
to
we get a
handle
quick light the beam chant before we leave?
Come on now.
A quick light the beam chant.
Light the beam. Light the beam.
Oh, it's all right. All right.
Did
Good.
we get some of the light the beam on there?
We did. Joe in the studio, he said, "The hell with your chant. We're going to commercial."
Hey,
Jackasses.
Joe, great work.
Great job, Joe.
Great job running the board there.
Great job,
Too
Joe.
many people let that ride. Good job on the hard out.
Great job, Joe. Great job, Jesse. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you so much.
Kyle did a show and a half today.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you to Kyle for filling in and keeping me from having to talk the entire last 2 hours of the show.
Bro, you keep feeding me Modelo's. I'll keep talking.
Man. He absolutely gonna keep going. He gonna keep going with the Modelo's.
A Modelo Negro, bro, to end the.
I don't think you can use that word, sir.
A dark Modelo. Jesse, what do I call it?
Jesse, like, leave me out of this.
Hey, I'm just kidding like Jason. Oh, unless you're gonna do it.
Extra, eh?
The Neptunes.
Sassoon.
Oh.
Got in the restroom.
Yo, they had a Madonna video playing earlier that really distracted me.
The Rihanna one
I
got me.
was like, yo, what is going on up there?
Oh my God, is this Air Force Ones?
No, this is
Oh,
hot.
that's hot in here.
The Band-Aid under the eye. I'm bringing it back.
We need to bring
Nelly
baggy
was an
jerseys
unbelievable
back.
album.
Well, let's not go that.
Hey, Chatty House, we love y'all. We're going to shut down. We appreciate
Y'all, man.
man.
Round of applause for y'all,
Thanks,
man.
Chatty House.
Round of applause for y'all, man.